and like I said, I mean, listen, this is probably not helping, but whatever the case is, like it is what it is. Like I'll never, at least how I stand, like I'll never say anything to anybody. If shaking hands, hug, hello, family members, whatever the case is, like if you're skittish, I'm on board with this. Like I said, my girlfriend's a nurse. I work in sanitation. You talk about two different sides of the germ side or whatever. Like it's so like to me, I just go, that's cool. Whatever you feel is comfortable for you works for me.
This virus has ruined one of my loves this year, and that's wrestling.
Yeah,
it's really ruined it, man.
You think you guys? I'm a sports fanatic. Everything I do extracurricular, every single thing I do that's not work related has been taken away from me.
Yeah.
Okay, and on top of that, I can't stay home like the third of the fucking world can do right now.
I mean,
you
can go for your walks, do what you got to go do.
No, I'm talking about like I can't stay home and fucking quarantine and play.
Oh yeah, because you got to go to work.
I can't play Xbox. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what was funny is a friend of mine. I was telling him, I was there before I came here. Like he's like, oh yeah, the podcast. He goes, you know what's good about wrestling, and he's not even a wrestling fan at all. He goes, they're showing the world that you can still do this and not have fans around. Like at least like wrestling's trying, like WWE, AEW, everybody, they're trying to do
because there's fucking TV contracts
involved. Well, yes, but same thing with NBA. NBA has TV contracts, and and MLB has. So like this, that's what he meant. But there's so much involved with MLB, NBA. There's so many people behind the scenes. Like you could see this past week, they were working with a minimal stagehands.
It took my vacation from me.
Yeah.
It took it, which was wrestling, and it took everything from me. I may not even. I'm hearing we may not even get baseball this year. That even affects my strat game because the stats go on those cards.
They carry over.
Season. They carry over, right?
They carry over.
So like I told my guys, what if we don't get baseball this year? We're gonna have to use the same cards. He's like, yeah, what the fuck are you gonna do?
Oh wow.
So like a lot of stuff affects me extracurricular.
Yeah.
The job itself that I'm doing now is probably the most intense I've ever. And you have to understand something. I've been through Sandy. I've been through 9/11. I've been through fucking stupid Yankee players hitting fucking buildings with a helicopter. I've been through blizzards and anything New York throws at me. I'm the first line of defense, and I'm cool with that. That's the role I've accepted in my job, and that's who I am as a person. But in the same breath, when you take I would get to go home and watch wrestling and baseball and hockey and basketball. Now I can't. I said I can't even fathom. What the athletes are going through, what the actors and actresses are going through, what the rest of the world. Like, you have to understand something. You take away somebody's routine, you take away their fucking livelihood, you take away his livelihood. You take away people's livelihoods, people who work. Now, my barber, my fucking butcher, my fucking my barber, my fucking the hair salons, the sneaker dude, the food carts. You don't see them on the street no more right now.
Yeah,
they're few and far between. Like it affects the economy. It affects everything. And it's not just us. It's the UK. It's fucking South America, Central America.
Yeah.
And I corrected somebody on Twitter, and I copy and pasted it to my page the other day. She was like, "Oh, fucking the Wuhan flu." I'm like, "No, it's called the COVID-19." And and your mom probably got fucking created in the back of a fucking Buick Skylark, what we call her Mary. I didn't even mean it for Trump because apparently Trump got harassed by calling it the Chinese flu.
They also called it the Kung flu.
The Kung flu, yeah. I called it,
but it's funny.
In my job, I'm not allowed to do that. So in my job, I call it COVID-19 or coronavirus
because you have to.
I have to.
Yeah.
And I don't watch CNN and I don't watch Fox News or CNBC unless I'm forced to. I get the news from the Center of Disease Control and from my Department of Health from New York State because those are the protocols I have to follow. And then they just implemented COVID-19 dispatch protocols because we have a dispatch program on the CAD. When I take an emergency, they added the questions to it. If there's any kind of respiratory issue or any kind of like difficulty breathing or anything like that, now there's a whole list of questions. The landscape has changed. Okay, the landscape in this country has changed. It's a pandemic. It's like the fucking movies, man. It's like the fucking outbreak monkey. It's like ET's
Yeah.
house. It's like I was telling today. I was telling Fallon, they flew dudes in from Louisiana and they built MASH tents on my ambulance deck. So when these patients come in and they get diagnosed, they go in a fucking tent and they get
Deloused.
quarantined.
Yeah, they get deloused. Yeah.
I personally discharged through my dispatching. I've discharged patients to their homes and nursing homes, over 35 COVID patients.
Wow.
And that's just not one campus. That's Queens. That's 3 in Manhattan, 1 in Queens. And then of course
it's just one of those things where you just got to do your due diligence. Like if you don't feel good, like chances are you're gonna be fine. Don't freak out, but you gotta be mindful of everybody.
But
else
you want to know
around
something?
you.
What's the most fucked up part is that a lot of these people that have upper respiratory problems, a lot of health issues, they're being told, "Hey, stay home," and then they get fucked and then they die.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
not their fault. It's just that there's not enough beds to service these people.
Right. So I was telling Jay this last week, and I was telling people were calling me like, my friend has the flu. What do I do? I'm like, go to a doctor. Don't come to the emergency room first. Because like last week, I don't know if you listened to the show, but last week, my hospital dude was like inundated. People were outside the emergency room in the waiting room online because they had the sniffles. But like, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? They don't know. They're fucking panicking. So they don't go to a doctor first. Go to your fucking doctor first, man.
That's and it was funny because like same thing with me. Like I had to go to the doctor to get cleared for work. And I had an appointment, I think, for Tuesday. And then they called me. They go, "Oh, you're gonna have to do a Skype, teledoc thing." I'm like,
"That's new now."
And I'm like,
it's called telemedicine. Yeah.
I'm on the phone. I'm like, "What the hell is teledoc?"
We actually started implementing a program late last year, right, called community paramedicine. They put a paramedic and an EMT in a fly car, in an SUV, with a fucking iPad, and they drive to patients' houses. Let Mrs. Smith, who's 900 pounds and she's from East New York and she's got fucking asthma and she's obese. Instead of her coming to the cardiologist today, talk to the cardiologist on the iPad.
Yeah.
And then he can diagnose her. Oh, you have congestive heart failure. You have to go to the doctor. And then they call for an ambulance.
Mm-hmm.
And they were doing this like 10 years ago in like rural Western Canada. I remember going to a dispatch conference in like places like Saskatchewan and Winnipeg and Edmonton.
Hey,
right,
Winnipeg.
Well, what they would do is the hospitals are few and far between.
Yeah,
so they would have an ambulance driver, not even an EMT or paramedic. He would drive the paramedic to the fucking house, and they would call a doctor on the phone. "Hey doc, it's paramedic fucking hoser. I have Mrs. Jericho here. She's
Irvine.
I have Mrs. Irvine here. Her blood pressure is blah, 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 blah. She has symptoms, blah, blah, blah. And she has A, B, and C. And then the doctor would say, all right, either take her to the hospital, which is 50 miles away. Right. Or that's another thing too. Like these patients aren't stable. If they're having all these fucking, if it's an acute thing and if it's a long-term thing, then it's fine. But like, this is what it is. So they're making strides to keep these people. Now, my hospital canceled every electoral procedure. Like if you were volunteering for a procedure, you're not getting it.
Yeah.
They canceled unless you're coming for something life-sustaining, which is like dialysis or chemotherapy, radiation therapy, or blood transfusions and stuff like that. All the methadonians getting their methadone, the junkies, they closed that clinic.
Oh.
Yeah, you fucking junkies.
You're fucked.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, it's the landscape has changed.
Yeah.
The healthcare industry is just taking a blow even with supply. So, and I'm not a Trump guy. People know that. For me, it's not even about his politics. It's the human factor. That's another story. But he did such wonderful work this week between getting the Defense Act passed, getting more supplies, money to supplies,
money to the companies
like Purell and Johnson & Johnson and all that shit. And then I was telling the boys too, he took 2 floating hospitals and put them on each coast of the country. This way, in case we do get an overflow, especially like in New York,
Yeah.
It's a swell move, his hand was forced in a way because we're the most infected, which is fine, but at least there's initiatives being taken. I think Congress has to get on board with what's going on. They want to nip this in the butt. I hear things from like Big Farm that they're gonna have a pill that some big farm company is donating this pill that to control it. But even then, it's gonna take a fucking at least a year to get out with the money and shit like that.
It's a virus. So like basically, there's no really antibiotics that can cancel
it's the
virus.
Flu.
It's a virus.
If you have a terrible immune system, if you're an infant or a child or a toddler, like he has too. If you're a young person who has a bad medical history, anybody who's an elderly, stay home.
Well, this is why we said today is like we said at the Choppy is like, listen, you got two youngins. I mean, obviously, what's going on, but nonetheless, Logan's here or whatever. Like, you don't want us to come over? That's by all means. Like, we're not going to do it. Like, we'll figure.
I wasn't expecting to come over today.
Yeah, and then like we collectively like, and then Choppy's like, yo, I need to do this. Like Choppy's like, he goes, I need this. I hate to use this word, but like distraction. Like, the world is fucking crazy enough. Like I did. This is 2 hours where you can bullshit.
You know what? I'm sorry for cutting off.
No, go ahead.
You know what's been really putting a smile on my face is the Shining Wizards tournament.
Oh, I'm loving that.
Dude, every time I see it, I'm just like, man, this is
shout out to Bowman for that.
Thanks,
man.
Bowman. Dude, that is fucking great stuff, man.
Here's what's the deal.
If you guys get a chance, please go on the Shining Wizards, Facebook page. If you're not friends with Bowman, but definitely the Shining Wizards Facebook page. They are putting up brackets. They have March Madness for tag teams. 64 teams, which we do have to ask Bowman about how the seeding went because there are a few questionable.
Who they put against Doc and Gordy and Doc and they were losing?
Get
the fuck out of here.
Doc and Gordy would kill those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I just like even Basil was like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Yo, I remember somebody. What was it? It was the Eliminators versus New Day.
Stop.
Eliminators were to fucking murder those motherfuckers.
But the Eliminators were losing, and I was like, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it right now. Stop it with the insanity.
It was insane.
Stop it. I'm a mark for those guys. You can't tell me the fucking.
But like you said, you need to find these small distractions. That's what's gonna do this. Get us through this time.
I have work to distract me for the most part.
Now Hanson and Brody? Were they winning at one point?
They had to have won. If they didn't win, whoever's voting is uneducated. Is not well versed in fucking tag team.
Whoever's voting is probably 15 years old.
Doc and Gordy. Come on, man, you can't. That's classic. The Miracle Violence Connection.
God,
one of my favorite tag teams of all time.
Bulldogs, I think, were like dead even with somebody.
Someone put like the sheep herders against I forget who. It was so one-sided.
What was it? The Heart Foundation versus
Please.
Like I said, there was some real interesting matchups. Like where you and it's funny because it really does tickle your cerebellum when you can go, oh well, I wonder what could happen.
Look at Jay using big words, child.
I just learned that word this week.
I mean, he's hanging out with you. It's a medical term. So there
ring that bell.
So I'm thankful Choppy's back on the show.
I'm thankful that I have my brothers with me because I don't. There's not many things that make me happy anymore. It's depression's a really terrible thing. So between my job and between nothing happening, I need this.
Yeah,
I truly need this in my life, and I have wonderful. Listen, don't get me wrong. I have a wonderful support group. I have people who love and adore me. I have fucking. It's amazing. The group you have now, if there's, and I told this today, I put this thing on social media, anybody who's local, I have many friends and family who do what I do or they know somebody who does what I do. If you need anything, food, shelter, medical advice, anything you need that I can do, please don't hesitate to reach out. I can utilize resources that I normally don't utilize because I've earned that right in 21 years doing this shit. And I'm very blessed. So, and I want to help in any way I can, so because I'm healthy and I'm in this shit every day.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Here's a matchup that's very interesting: Beer Money versus the Public Enemy.
I seen that.
Oh yeah, the Heart Foundation versus the Gorillas of Destiny.
Now, okay, that's what it was.
And I picked the Heart Foundation.
So did I.
I love I love the. Matter of fact,
I love the GODs, but
I love
I
GOD.
I got an email. I emailed Tama Tonga today because I'm getting a refund back.
Oh, okay.
But they were selling shirts. They're like, listen, we'll give you money back, but can you buy one of these shirts to put back the loss? They took a big loss. I did the fucking survey and forgot to check off a shirt. So I emailed Tama Tonga. I'm like, dude, I totally I did the survey for my money back, but I totally didn't get. Can I get this shirt? And I'm getting a Gorilla shirt. I said, but he's like, yeah, no problem. He's like, don't worry about it.
That's awesome.
But I said to them today, I'm like, they've been really. I've been mad because I basically tapped out my life savings for this trip, and I'm trying to get my losses back, right? And that was one of the major expenses was that thing, and they've been so cool online. They've been like posting like,
well, that's what I was
updates.
saying last week.
They were updates and everything. And I overreacted, whatever I did because I felt like
not that it was an overreaction, but it's a knee jerk reaction. Like
right,
and you're disappointed. You're not mad at them. You're just mad at
right.
the
And then
situation.
High Spots has to pay the Marriott like over $100,000.
Oh man,
for the WrestleCon thing, and they were like because they can't. It wasn't like in their contract.
Yeah,
I was like, yo. So Phil Dennett put up a link. He was like, yo, get stuff from High Spots. I'm like, I always get stuff from High Spots. And Mott Spock fucking donates to them every month. He pays the fucking gimmick.
Well, it was Hanson and Brody versus the LAX.
Yeah, I'm sorry, LAX.
Sorry,
I'm sorry, LAX.
But
sorry,
Hanson and Brody with the fucking demolished
no
motherfuckers.
disrespect, Santana Ortiz,
Yeah.
wonderful humans,
dude. And listen,
and they're doing big things, but you can't fuck with Hanson.
5 years from now, who knows? Like we could be singing a new song, but
Listen,
as of right now,
what about this one? Lucha Brothers versus Money Inc.
I probably took Money Inc.
Yeah,
I did.
Money Inc.
Because listen,
It's DiBiase, dude.
DiBiase and
Rotundo
in their prime.
No. It's not Rotundo.
It's Rotundo.
No. It's not Rotunda. It's
Captain
Erwin
Mike.
R. Shyster.
Fuck your hand. It's
Other-
It's
Rotundo.
otherwise-
Erwin R. Shyster. It's
Listen.
not Syracuse varsity captain Mike Rotunda.
Listen.
It's Erwin R. Shyster.
Okay, he's Jewish. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. He's Italian and in the NWA. Okay, let's keep it real.
Listen, I'm a nostalgia junkie. There were just some teams that they
Come on, it's Money Inc.
Dude, Hanson and Brody in their prime.
You
Ain't nobody.
cannot.
Dude, if Hanson and Brody and Doc and Gordy, first of all, Doc and Gordy came to the States for 2 weeks
and won 2 belts
and won 2 titles. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Hanson and Brody, if they would have left Japan and came here, there was nobody beating them in their prime.
Yeah.
They were just malicious.
Eliminators versus New Day. Come on, bro.
Dude,
Yeah,
stop
I
Eliminators
agree.
were fucking
Dude,
destroyed. Stop it.
eliminators were ahead of their time.
They were the best team.
eliminators.
I know. Listen, I'm gonna get shit for this, but you had the Impact plays. We'll talk about them later on tonight.
Oh, I can't wait for
You
that.
talk about Sabu and
I
Van
have
Dam.
so much.
Sabu and Van Dam. You're talking about the Public Enemy.
They
you talk about the
lost.
gangs. Listen,
They're losing to the fucking Usos right now. The Impact players.
okay. So I'm sorry. The Eliminators were the best team that ECW had.
Oh yeah,
I disagree.
I know you disagree.
I was gonna say the
Choppy and
Dudleys.
I've been having this conversation.
Dudleys are
since
number
we
one
fir-
for me. Number two
since
is
we first met.
Eliminators.
Yeah,
Eliminators
I was
were
gonna say
great.
Dudley's the number one.
Okay.
I
I
agree.
disagree. I think if Dudleys were more over, the Dudleys were more successful, obviously. And the knock on Eliminators was Saturn got hurt pretty bad in his early in his career, in almost in his prime, and then they broke up as a team because he had left. If they would have stayed together, I'm not saying it would have been more as successful as the Dudleys, but they could have had a run anywhere.
Oh yeah,
I would have seen John. I could have seen
yeah.
John Cronus in WCW with him, and
I would.
I
See,
agree.
I could see them going with Harlem Heat or going to the WWE and fighting.
but they would have to tone down their style if they
Can
went
you
to
imagine
WCW.
Eliminators versus? Can you imagine Eliminators versus World's Greatest Tag Team?
oh
Yes. Oh my god.
Can you imagine Eliminators versus the Dudleys in WWE
Oh.
or Edge and Christian or the Hardys? Can you imagine
Yeah.
Perry Saturn on the ladder match?
oh my god,
Yeah, but
John Cronus, 280 pounds, doing cartwheels.
and 450s.
cartwheels, 450,
Yeah.
moonsaults.
The idea of Harlem Heat versus the Eliminators would have been amazing.
Stop it,
Yeah.
Oh
man.
my god.
And I'm not being partial to the strong style, but come on, man, you can't. Doc and Gordy beat everybody. They beat it, and they came to the States and
What was the
beat
one
the
with the-
fucking Steiner brothers, who were
Yeah.
at the time.
Speaking of which,
At the time, the Steiners were the best team in wrestling.
Oh yeah,
At that time.
and this
They-
is 91.
They had superseded the Road Warriors
Yeah.
as the best team in wrestling, and
Yep.
I'm a Road Warriors fanatic,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
And they came here for 2 weeks and they ran.
Oh, Strike Force and the World's Greatest Tag Team.
I took Strike. I took the to Strike Force. I think.
Oh, come
World's
on.
Greatest Tag Team. I'm sorry.
Come on,
I'm
Strike
sorry.
Force over
All
World's
right,
Greatest
here's
Tag Team?
Young Bucks, Steamboat, and Youngblood. Steamboat and Young.
Young
I
Bucks.
took the Young Bucks.
Are you serious?
Young Bucks.
Steamboat and Youngblood, come on, dog.
Steamboat and Youngblood. Steamboat and Youngblood were a great team.
Dude,
Stop. Okay.
I'm team
All right.
nostalgia.
If you watch the Ricky Steamboat documentary,
He shits on.
no,
he
he
does
doesn't.
not.
He doesn't.
He
Not
shits on him.
on Jay? No.
Yes, he does.
No, yeah, in a way, yes, he did. In a way,
How?
because he wanted to break up the team,
Yes.
and they was so hot in the territory that he actually felt like he was almost obligated to Jay Youngblood, and he kind of threw him under the bus. Like, okay, well, I wanted to go solo, but
yeah.
and I'm like,
He wanted to make more money as a babyface.
babyface. Yeah, they.
I
shit
have.
on him.
No, he did not. I have the same DVD just like you, motherfucker.
Dude, I just watched it it's on the network. I just watched it.
So did I. Come on, I have the same DVD and I see it on the network.
Shit.
All right, this one's for Phil. Demolition America's Most Wanted.
Ooh.
I
This
took-
is
stop it.
Demolition.
I took Demolition.
Yeah, Demolition.
Dude, you have to understand something.
But-
under the face paint, it's Barry Darso and fucking Mr. Wrestling too.
But
This one was. This one.
Hold on. Go back to that one. You cannot deny how over America's Most Wanted
They
was, though.
sucked.
Dude, no
Fuck 'em.
way,
Fuck
dude.
'em.
4 or 5 years.
They had one
ran,
good match for me in lockdown.
Triple X and them.
They
Oh, that
ran-
was good.
They
That was a good
ran
match.
TNA.
I want to watch that again.
What about the Naturals against America's Most Wanted?
I want which
Oh,
which
yeah.
lockdown was that? Was that 2000 like
Five.
Three or
2005.
four.
No, 2005.
I need to get that. I want to watch that.
Yeah.
By the way, this one was a fucking mockery to me. I thought it was laughable. The Steiners against the Hart Dynasty.
Oh.
The Steiners would fucking destroy these
In that
motherfuckers.
spot on,
Doc and Gordy against the Kings of Wrestling. I love the Kings of Wrestling. don't
yeah,
get me
I'm
wrong.
sorry. People keep
Fuck that.
Matt was like Kings for the upset. Get the
Not-
fuck out
not
of
fuck
here, man.
you.
Not for nothing. That would be a great match.
Dude.
A dream match.
That
Could
would
you-
be a great
Dude, this one
match.
right here would be a dream match. APA versus the Road Warriors.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Man
Oh.
Superstar. I missed the wrestling. You're right. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
yeah, Billy D was the man superstar.
Dude,
I'm sorry. I got,
Road Warriors versus the APA in their prime. Oh my god, they fucking destroy each other.
yeah.
Road Warriors.
Thank you, Ben. I'm sorry.
You would
I'm
have to
doing
go
this
Road
from memory.
Warriors. You'd have to go Road Warriors
Dude,
over that.
I would have gone with the Briscoe brothers versus the fucking GODs, bro.
Ooh.
Oh my god,
We've seen that match though a few
Like
times.
I said, shout
We've
out-
seen that match
oh.
we've seen that match a few times though.
Shout out to the
In
Wizards.
two different fucking countries.
Shout out to the Wizards. That's
Yeah, thank you.
Great idea.
that put such a smile on my face. Oh,
Yeah, it's just.
I love tag
taking-
team wrestling. I
yeah,
love it.
It's
so
taking
great.
It's
you.
the greatest thing in the world.
It's taking you away from everything, and then like
Oh.
you said, wrestling fans, and especially the Turnbuckle Throwbacks fan page. Like we've everybody's been positive. Nobody's posting anything negative. Everybody's just posting
I put a
updates.
I put a nip in the butt with that
Yeah,
Well, what do you mean?
a
updates
couple
and
weeks ago. I fucking
yeah, but everybody's putting updates of what's
Oh,
happening.
I put the me and I believe Modspot put up the Viceland documentary with
Can't
Benoit.
wait.
It's
Oh.
up. It's on YouTube for
I
free.
can't wait.
Part one's already on there.
Oh, really?
It's part one. It's a two-parter.
Ooh, I can't wait. Like I said, Viceland's hitting it out of park. I can't wait for the Dino Bravo one.
Oh my God, Dino
They
Bravo.
making a Dino Bravo.
Yes, they do. I can't wait to see it.
I can't.
he
wait
got
for
he
that.
got shot up by the
By the
Canadian mob for bootlegging cigarettes.
No, let's be realistic. It was the Canadian, French, Italian mob. Okay.
They said sorry. We're gonna do this.
Sorry, but we're over here now. Click. Sorry, but we're
Yeah.
over here now. What's that little boot? Click.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
But
Okay, terrific.
so obviously the big news coming out of this week is WrestleMania is now it's going to be at the Performance Center, which
For 2 days.
for 2 days.
It's a 2-day event.
Which okay, we all knew it was going to be 2 days. We all knew that's the only way it was going to go to. Now I'm not talking about this year. I'm just talking about it in general because it's getting so big, and
Last year's went almost what?
it was like 9 hours or
Oh,
something like
it's
that.
insane.
It's almost like remember like what was it? WrestleMania 17. They had WrestleMania all day long where they just it was a
Like the Super
24-hour thing.
No, like the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl starts at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
They have the pre-show, the pre-show,
Yeah.
the football life, and they do a
Yeah.
whole thing. It's so 2 days.
so like I said, so basically going around the room, like, how do you feel? Like, how do you feel about this? Like, do you think they should have postponed it? Do you think, business as usual? Let's just go through it. Like, listen, we're gonna get on the other side.
I after watching, this is just my opinion. After watching the Raw and SmackDown, I was not impressed. I'm sorry. You're gonna call me crazy, but the crowd is the other element to a show.
I was kind of happy. Not that I'm happy you're home, not making money, but I was kind of happy you were home. We were both hoping that you would catch at least a little wrestling besides the throwback.
I saw it and I was like, it's hard for me to watch a show when there's like no audience.
Yeah.
The problem with moving into September or October is now you got SummerSlam and then you got some Survivor Series. I see what you're saying. Move it to an arena, move it to a smaller place. I get it. But there's so much money invested in these events that, especially with Mania, because Mania is like a tourist thing. People come from all over the fucking world.
Thing.
So I mean, the stock. I mean, they're taking a huge hit. Everybody's taking a hit.
Everyone's taking a hit.
Everybody
not the little guys and the big guys.
Everybody's taking a hit, man. No one's getting paid. Now the guys are showing their shirts and their merch because, hey, you know what?
And it's the truth because, like I said, it's affecting the little guy. Much like the economy, the small restaurant owner is getting affected by this because you can't have people in there or whatever. Like it's the same thing in the wrestling world. Even the indie performers aren't able to make money because they can't perform anywhere. So they have to sell their shirts or what have you. So like Phil, like would you say like this is a good move, bad move? I mean,
I was actually hoping they were going to postpone until June like they had originally.
I said the same thing.
But they were going to go to MSG, which I think would have been a brilliant idea.
Great idea.
But and who knows if it's going to be good by then,
Yeah. Like I said, like to me, like especially go ahead.
I also heard that they're planning on recording it, not going live.
I don't like that.
They might record some spots, but not everything.
Yeah, everything's going to
go live.
It's going to be.
It was funny, like watching this week, especially with AEW, and I didn't get a chance to see NXT, but like I've seen Raw and last week.
I don't think was there an NXT this week.
Well, it was Tom Phillips and Triple H, and they were just showing build-ups, the clips of Gargano and Ciampa and fucking.
So good thing I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I watched it today. I was disappointed. Then I got into a last OG marathon, the Tracy Morgan show.
Oh yeah, I worked on that.
That show is hysterical.
I worked on season 1 of that.
That's I'm
Tracy Morgan's the man.
He's a funny motherfucker, man.
He's actually very.
Yeah,
I met him on set. He's a character.
I heard he's a fucking nutbag.
He comes in with a stereo. The way he comes in. This is how he announces himself. He comes in with a boombox, but one of his entourages carries a boombox. He's like, "Motherfuckers, I'm here!" Yeah, it's so great. I love him.
Yeah, I put a post on the Takeover Club page. I was like, I think we should get together and watch it and binge drink.
Yeah,
are they still doing Takeover?
They haven't said anything.
I haven't heard anything about Takeover.
The only thing I liked about SmackDown was, and this is going to be funny to say, like I love Triple H on fucking commentary.
Dude, what about when him and Mojo Rawley were like shaking Michael Cole?
Dude, like
get hyped! Rob Gronkowski's coming to WWE.
And I hate to say it.
Oh Christ!
And I hate to say it, but like that's what's missing from the current product is that,
spontaneity.
Yeah, exactly. Great word. On the spot type thing. Like he's just going off.
If Vince would stop feeding lines to people,
exactly. But that was good about it. I mean, Raw was, it was funny. Like I remember saying to myself, they're gonna show something that's gonna extend Raw.
I got a tinkle. I can't hold it in.
And I got
go.
Yeah. And so like they showed Raw, and like next thing you know, like they showed the Royal Rumble match. And I started laughing, and I just go, "Oh, of course these motherfuckers are going to show an hour and a half show." And next thing you know what I did? I watched the first fucking 45 minutes of it because it was good stuff with Brock. Like I remember we were saying that night.
We were like, "Oh, this is going to be a shit show," and all of a sudden we were like, "Oh my god, it's actually pretty good."
It's actually pretty good, but wrestling in front of nobody, it's definitely hard because and especially when we talk about AEW. Did the right thing, I think, with putting the wrestlers there.
I think so too.
I
agree.
I think that was a kind of cool thing. It was different, at least. I mean, you could have left some wrestlers in the back, i.e., Lance Archer, Jake the Snake. They didn't need to be out there.
I agree with that.
Now you just expose them, like in my opinion, but nonetheless. But Raw basically was one match and a Stone Cold segment, which I hate to say it, I'm a huge Stone Cold fan. I'm drinking this goddamn beer right now.
Of course.
It fell on its face. The best thing about the Stone Cold segment was the stuff that happened after.
I think that the AEW event was really, really good.
Yeah.
And not to not to discredit what Raw and SmackDown did, it was a different feel.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Because the only negative I have from the AEW show, they should have never debuted Matt Hardy.
Yes.
That or hold off on the Exalted One debut.
It's because it was too much.
It was already too much.
It was too much. I mean, the Exalted. Obviously it's the wheels got to roll. So obviously you can't hold back too much. But I agree. The Exalted One and Matt Hardy on the same. That's too much for 1 week.
And can I ask you something about this? I want to see what's your opinion on this. And also Phil, since he's just walking in. Do you think there's too many old codgers on the show, on the AEW?
No, I disagree. Me and Phil were talking about this last week. I disagree because I think. And
well, let me rephrase. What I mean by old codger, I don't mean like. I'm not saying that guys in their 40s are old. They're not. But let's think about this for a second. Brody Lee, 40. Matt Hardy, 44, 45 years old. What was the other one?
Lance Archer is 38.
No, he's not.
No,
he's 42, 43 years old.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought he was.
Who else? You got Jericho, who's 50.
Daniels
is 50.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, and Kazarian is 42.
And I'll make an argument to that. The answer, in my opinion, is no, because you're talking about these are all guys. Everybody you named has not been used to their utmost potential. That's the difference, I think. And they still have something to offer the business, i.e. Jericho. Jericho's still doing. He's honestly doing the best work he's probably ever done.
I think
you can make that argument.
I'm glad that Jericho went to AEW, and just because he has more creative freedom to do what he wants.
Yeah.
Not to say he didn't do good in WWE. I thought him and Kevin Owens together was fucking money.
Yeah.
And they should have went for the Universal title at that WrestleMania. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. I agree. 100%.
But that being said, Jericho now is probably, I agree, the best shit he's done so far.
I think you can make that argument, especially like you said. I mean, it's hard to put down 97, 98 Jericho when he's, with Ralphus security and coming in, and even coming in with WWF, like 99, 2000. Like, that's really good Jericho stuff.
Yes.
But right now, you can arguably say that he knows how to be a heel. He still gets hated, but meanwhile, the crowd is singing his song on the way in.
That song is pretty good, though.
Oh, that song's great.
It's a good song. I like that.
But
yeah, we were just talking about it. Do you think there's too many old guys on the show?
Yeah, but they
have name value.
No, I think everybody's still drinking the Kool-Aid because it's new. It's a well-produced show.
It is,
right? So I didn't like the Dark Order until they bring Brody Lee.
And when I saw Brody Lee, I was like, oh, this is fucking great.
I called it, and on top of that, I was like, I was hoping it wasn't Matt Hardy because we're not implemented Matt Hardy in the cage match because it makes a little more sense because they told a story. They have history.
Yeah,
the Hardys were in Ring of Honor. They challenged them, and they went to. You know what I'm saying? So
I still think Hardy's going to turn on those guys.
I think so too.
He could, but again, it's new. It's exciting because it's they did a lot better job of the live stuff than WWE did.
Yeah, and what was funny is like you once again, Choppy, you said it before. Like you realize watching these shows without crowd response it's daunting because. It really is because you almost hear it in your head and you just go, oh, like the idea of the whatever that thing is, the Vanguard 2.0.
Vanguard 1, yeah.
Yeah, like that thing coming down. Like,
that was fun.
Dude, if that would have happened with a crowd there,
they would have
lost their shit.
Because it
would have been that much better.
That's why I was mad with Brody Lee because
we're
big.
Thing.
We were big on him, and I remember this is. I wish I remember the episode. I was trying to look for it today. There was a thing where you said on the show like he can talk, he can do this, he can do that, and I was like, okay. And now he did that with an empty arena.
Yeah,
and I feel like, oh man, it took the air out of it because it was so well done. When Daniels came in and the light and the fucking lightning, and I was like, oh, this is great.
But that's the idea about it. And like I said, I was saying what my friend said, like kudos to AEW, WWE to keep the wheel. Obviously, TV contracts, legalities, their hand is forced. But nonetheless, they're still trying to put the best product that they can forward.
I believe so.
Yeah, and I think that these are trying times for everybody.
Yeah.
And these guys, they have guarantees, and there's a bunch of shit from a production value. They tried their best, and if you're a fan, you'll stop shitting on it and just accept it and wait for this all to blow over and hope that we have a good SummerSlam and hope that and New Japan is making the Wrestle Dynasty a yearly thing, which will be like an answer to Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah,
it's like it's to be their WrestleMania here in the States. If that show does go down and we're there, it's gonna be it's the first to be epic. So there's a lot of stuff to look forward to. My concern, besides my health and my city, my country, is that these wrestlers who lost all their money get reimbursed, and that they can all recover.
Yeah,
and because morale is going to hit a low.
Yeah.
If you're a sports fan, you can't even go to a fucking movie. Okay?
Yeah.
So
that's another thing. A lot of movies are being streamed online now.
and being pushed.
And you can't eat in a restaurant. You can't do anything that you like to do. Even if you like to go to the library, they closed the library. They have over 200,000 books you can download, but you can't go to a fucking library.
What was it? Audio, the audiobook thing?
Audible.
They're doing free stuff now. Or if you want to read a book,
Thank God.
And kudos to the cable companies opening up their fucking premium channels to people, and kudos to some of these states, including ours, that are not evicting people and not taking any fucking mortgage payments right now. Because again, guys like Choppy who rely on his job, he doesn't have sick days like we do.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like it's a deal. I really want this to work. I really want them to recover. And
I think they will. And it's funny because, and just to kind of flip it on its head a little bit, like it's so funny because like think about when 9/11 happened, when it happened on the Tuesday and SmackDown was live on the Thursday. What did Vince do?
Choppy and I played that clip.
What did Vince do?
They were from Texas, remember?
Yep.
Yeah, Vince was, he's and I really think we all want to say everything about him, like how he's out of touch and this and that. But there's one thing that he's always done, and it made sure that the show must go on, good, bad, or indifferent. Doesn't matter.
That's a carnival worker.
Yeah, and he's the guy that's going. We're doing our part, and it's what I've always said about jobs or whatever. Like we're doing our part. Like our job is to entertain. And thankfully, like he's kind of taken that, on the chin and going, listen, we're going to plug forward. We have this building in Orlando. Like I don't think he owns it. I think he leases it, whatever. But nonetheless, but he can still produce the show, albeit, legalities and TV contracts, whatever. But he's still going, hey, we have to entertain. This is our job. Guys, you don't want to be a part of this? Get the fuck out. You don't want anything to do with this? That's fine. But we're here to do our job. And kudos to Vince McMahon. I know we always like to shit on him, but kudos to that company to always going forward and just going during the time of crisis.
Well, you know what? He's going to take a huge hit now because he can't do house
huge,
shows.
Huge.
Can't do house shows. Can't do
huge
pay-per-views.
hit. Think about the XFL. They canceled the XFL.
XFL's canceled.
5 games into the season.
Dude, and he was doing so well.
Doing well.
So well.
And like I said, especially and it's just so funny because like of all things that were going to happen, like the first year, 2001, whatever it was, like it was just gimmicky and all this stuff. Like now, like it was getting traction. It was
getting some steam.
It was getting traction, and this happened. I think a few players in the league ended up contracting it. So like it's unfortunate, but it's funny because like you said, if it was he's proven that you can still do sporting events, quote unquote sporting events, in front of no people. So maybe the MLB can pick it up, but there's so many people involved behind the scenes that you can't have that many people in a closed area or an open area or whatever.
And this is the reason why he's as successful as he is.
I think so too. Yeah, I agree.
Because he had the foresight to invest money into the product when it was at the right time. And then he had the foresight to do cable at the right time. Then he had the foresight to do the brand split when he had the right time. Then he had the foresight to do digital streaming. So like, it's all not bad. I think the fans just have more access to what's going on and they can fucking shit on it better. But you have to understand something too. It's like, it's not just them. It's everybody who's affected.
Yeah.
So
it's down to the small
shit
guys.
rolls downhill, man.
It's the small guys, like you said.
Today was the blow. You know what could be the next blow? Is they're going to kill flights.
Yeah.
You can't go to Canada right now, but they're going to kill all domestic flights. And I guarantee if it gets any worse. So like this is how it's going to be until this thing peaks. So again, either don't watch it and shut the fuck up.
I came very close to turning off my just deleting the Facebook app. Very, very close.
Oh, dude, how can you not? Like,
if
we talked about
if we didn't have the podcast, and I post everything on Facebook. I'm very transparent. But if we didn't have the podcast, I probably would be off Facebook. Yeah. I told my mom this too the other day.
It came very close. This
week. I told my mom this.
Because
it's giving me such bad anxiety looking at all this shit.
Everybody's a doctor. Everybody's a fucking political analyst. Everybody's a fucking chef. Everybody knows better than everybody else. No one knows nothing. Okay,
but nobody wants to come together.
Like I told this to Jay last week, Choppy. The human element gets taken out of the most important things in this life, and this is not some tree hug hippie shit, because I've matured my life enough to know that you set your priorities a certain way, whether you're a family guy, whether it's your career, your family, whatever your priorities are different. But like people take the human element out of certain things. So when the liberals cry about certain things and then the conservative people are like, well, fuck you, this is your country and this and when they start bickering like children, and then it happens on social media too. Like I wasn't going to engage, and I love Mike Norangonga. He's a sweetheart. We love the Midnight Jury, but he trolled it and jumped on my feed and was like, "Oh, that don't mean nothing." When I mentioned the whole Skylock thing, and he thought I was taking a shot at Trump because he's Captain fucking Trump.
Yeah, he is.
And I'm like, I this had nothing to do with Trump. This was me correcting somebody on fucking on Twitter. So, and I thought it was fucking funny. But with pro wrestling, these people, these guys and girls, they're performers. And if they can't perform,
how can they make money?
They don't get paid. And the people like will take the human element out of it. You can't. They're fucking they travel 300 days a year. They fucking they kill themselves depending on where you wrestle, And the indie guys and girls have no contracts.
They're done.
They bounce from fucking city to city, state to state, country to country, most of the time on their dime.
Yeah.
Okay.
To get paid back.
Right. Correct. So like you don't think about that stuff.
Yeah.
We get a paycheck every week, every 2 weeks. They don't.
Yeah.
There's no. Only a couple of guys in the industry have guaranteed contracts. Athletes have guaranteed contracts, so they're going to get paid regardless. But it's not there. The human element the media takes the human element out of it. The media takes the human element out of it. Okay, and they make it as such that they force you to pick a side almost.
Yeah.
Okay. Same thing with wrestling. It's like people agree, disagree. I don't care.
Well, and that's what I wanted kind of to shine a little light on is that kudos and AEW too as well. Like I said Vince McMahon, but kudos to AEW as well to kind of, dude, we're new. We're still the new kid in town. Like we have a show to put on, and they did an excellent show as well. I mean, if you want to compare apples to apples, AEW had the far better show compared to Raw. Like I'm sorry,
Shining Wizard Tony said that we should stay 6 feet away from Choppy.
I was waiting for that one.
I was waiting for one of them to come in and say,
I thought that'd be Bowman.
I thought it'd be Bowman or Garifo.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, that's funny.
Garifo apparently announced that he's getting rid of the beard.
Oh, because of
technically, I can't go on if they redeploy me to the ambulance. I can't go on the ambulance.
Yeah,
I have to shave my beard.
Yeah,
you do.
The N95 mask won't seal me off.
But like I said, kudos to AEW as well. Like these guys, I feel like, and this is just me, I think that these people are just going, we're not going to solve this pandemic. We're not scientists. We're not anything of the sort. But what we can do is entertain people for 2 hours and take them out of their lives, take them away from their stuff, and that's what they are. That's what music is. That's what movies are. It's the same exact thing. And they're taking that role seriously, which I think should be applauded and should be echoed throughout other sports areas as well.
After seeing this week's episode, I'm so pissed I'm not going to be able to go see them on Wednesday.
Yes, exactly. Because
You know,
it was good.
It was really good.
It
dude.
was good, man.
It was really good. And I was pissed off that I didn't get to see it. I'm not going to be able to see it.
Yeah.
It's delayed until
It's coming to July, I think.
or something like that. But, it again, like, I'm very impatient because I'm old now. I'm older, I should say.
You're not impatient.
I'm impatient about a lot.
Really?
Of things. I am. I have no patience. And my
5 more years, he's gonna be a crouch. Get off my lawn.
Yeah, I'm already starting that. You know what though? I'm gonna echo what Jay said. Kudos to them. And just guys, in all sincerity, just take it slow. There's more important things in wrestling. We're just trying to get your mind off shit. We got some cool, and like I said, between the Wizards doing their thing, we talked about that before, and everybody's and all these other podcasts. There's so much to go around, a lot of information. I really hope that they do something Mania weekend special. It's our Super Bowl. It's our World Series. It's our Stanley Cup. It's our time. For the last 35 years of my life, I've dedicated to Mania. Yeah. Now it's a whole week. Now it's a weekend.
Yeah,
it's fucking fun, man. And I'm pissed that I'm not going to be down there. But B, we as a collective always get together. We always do shit together. We get food. We hang out. It's a deal,
We're hoping we're gonna still be able to do that somehow. And we're like I said, we're still figuring this out. And
it's trial and error. I just want everybody to just be safe and take care of each other and fucking. I say it every day on the show, but like just be fucking mindful of where you are and
stop being ignorant and stupid.
Just take care. Just take care of you and yours.
Don't be selfish. Be selfless.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. I roll with a bunch of selfless people, and they're very, very influential on me. You guys included. Like there's a lot of we have a lot of good vibes between us because we take care of each other like family. I think the vibe, even at work, I told somebody at work, I'm like, we just have to fucking come together, and this shit's gonna get so bad before it gets any better.
I think so too.
And you have to there's no, we can't turn it off.
Yeah,
this ain't like a fucking Sandy or where you were there. Well, I was there for 4 days,
hits and
then
goes.
You go home, right?
Yeah.
No, this is gonna smack you in the face a couple of times, So.
Like you said,
everybody just be mindful,
and echo what Phil said before. Like you said, like if you're really positive about an independent wrestler, buy their shirt.
Go buy a shirt.
Buy a merch, please. I assure you, especially not speaking for any wrestler, I don't have any horse in that race, but like I'm pretty sure that they'll reach out in some other way other than a receipt. It might be a personalized email. I'm sure they'll do something.
Once I start getting my refund money back, I'm gonna invest in
and the same thing with me. Like you want to look at these guys and go, especially the beyond guys. These mid area.
Dragon Gate, Shimmer,
MLW,
MLW, Game Changer.
Yeah,
shit like that.
Even
Ring of Honor,
Northeast Wrestling. Like
NEW, like John Ray. That's the Pitbulls there.
Yeah, even these mid-range places. And then we want to go local, like Warriors of Wrestling. Like, buy these guys shirts. Like it's these guys are literally just doing it for the love of the game. So like that's the most important thing. Like you said, there's guaranteed contracts that are out there. These guys don't have that.
You don't work, you don't get paid.
Exactly. So please, everybody's just being mindful and be thankful.
If the circus don't come to town, you can get paid. It's a carny.
Boy, do I know.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know.
I brought these up to the guys beforehand. So get back on the wrestling topic, and at first I wasn't really with this whole AJ Styles Undertaker thing. I wasn't on board with it. I think it still should be.
I'm still not on board with it.
Still should be Edge, AJ Styles. Nonetheless, be that as it may, I do not like the promos that AJ is cutting against Undertaker, because I feel like he's calling Undertaker old, this and that, and he's just building him up as this guy that should be, he's past his prime. What happens when Undertaker beats AJ?
Did you hear what he called Undertaker?
No.
He was like, "Hey, Mark, it's time for you to go back to Michelle McCool and hang it up." When he said Mark, I was like,
"Yeah."
How'd you know my name was Mark?
Yeah, exactly. I think they're planning. I don't know if it's true or not. They're planning doing American Badass Undertaker.
Well, I what I did like from this past Monday was the change of character a little bit. So it's showing that Undertaker is
is 106 and has to evolve. Yes, I agree. I agree.
I mean, he had the chaps on that day. He had like the
He dusted him off in the closet.
He had the Scully on.
I mean, when Booger Red comes back, I'm gonna be very happy. Booger Red. Booger Red.
But
I love Booger Red. Come on.
Okay, terrific.
That's the only time I liked the Undertaker, when he was American Badass.
But like I said, like to me, like you're sitting there, you're doing a promo against him, and you're burying him like that. He's old, but like, what happens when Undertaker beats you? Now an old guy just beat you.
But
That's not how you're supposed to do promos.
You know what AJ Styles' mindset is I don't care. I'm getting guaranteed money.
Probably it's but I tell you, like, but other than that, like, Gallows and Anderson, like these guys, I'm so glad they're finally in the spotlight.
But I feel so
It
bad
took
for
him
them.
3 years.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel so bad for those guys. They're so good, and they're relegated to jobber status. They're relegated to AJ Styles lackeys.
Yeah,
come on, man.
But
seriously,
one of the best things that it happened a few weeks ago was just like, you could see a little bit of Carl Anderson. Like, you see a little bit of the personality where he just goes, "I'm the toughest guy in the building," and it's just like, it was just spot on. Like,
I seen Carl Anderson solo kill it, not in Ring of Honor, not even in New Japan.
Yeah,
he's a fucking phenomenal worker.
I remember when him and fucking Tanahashi went at it.
Oh my god, that's right.
They were really good matches.
It's I'm not an Undertaker guy. I never was.
Me neither.
I'm not. And
I was. That's what.
But you're not the only one, dude. He's super. He's super popular. But I didn't like 35-year-old Undertaker. I don't like 55-year-old Undertaker. I'm over it. Like,
I was only a fan of the Undertaker from like 2000 to like 2004.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, and
American Badass.
I feel like it's almost insulting.
Big evil.
But I feel like AJ has to slow it down now.
He does.
Punk had to slow down for him.
It was still a good match, though. It was the match of the night.
Punk against Undertaker.
That was his last good match. I'm sorry. No, what was after that?
I like the Brock match.
Stop.
I like the Brock.
You were in the house for that.
Oh, it was awful.
I like
the whole room fucking stopped breathing.
And I'll tell you why. Because Undertaker was legitimately knocked out, and he still put on a good fucking match.
Oh, you're on a Kool-Aid, man.
Yeah,
What's in this beer?
Stone Cold stuff.
Stone Cold.
Jerk off jizz.
Yeah.
Jerk off jizz.
No, dude. I listen. I mean, and if you give me a little bit, I could probably. I really can't think of much. I can't think of many more.
Jay, if you have to think about that, then
I can't think of many more.
The Punk and Undertaker match from WrestleMania 29. Probably the last great Undertaker match.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
And that's because Punk made him look like $1 million fucking dollars.
And what do you think AJ Styles is going to do? He's going to do the same exact thing.
It's not going to be the same because we got to keep in mind this is what was WrestleMania 29? That was 7 years ago.
6 years, yeah, 6-7 years ago.
Yeah,
I mean, the fuck are we at 36?
We're adding another. We're adding another 7 years to Undertaker now. I mean,
it's just bad, man.
Yeah,
he looks
AJ's
so bad,
and AJ's going to job to him too.
He is, of course.
Yeah,
he is.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, what does it prove?
That AJ could sell. We know AJ could sell.
Yeah, it doesn't prove anything. Like that's why I was saying, like, it should be AJ against Edge. You have a natural story there.
It was Royal Rumble, especially with AJ.
I'm excited for Orton and Edge.
Oh, so am I.
That's a good story.
And that's another promo from Monday that Edge nobody talks about it because it was in the beginning of the night. But that promo was great with nobody in the crowd.
I agree, man.
You know what? When Edge delivers a promo, he has such ferocity and intensity.
And you know what I think it is too?
He got better with age too.
You know what I think it is? I think it was his time away from the business. Like
I love Edge.
He could not be inside the bubble. He can look outside as a critic and go, people aren't doing this. Now we have to do this.
I think he had a little bit of a chip on his shoulder when he came back too, on top of that, because he wanted to prove these fuckers, like, I still got this. I can do this shit. And he proved it.
Well, he's what did we say? He's 44, 45?
He is around Phil's age, so probably like 44, 45 years old.
Yeah, so
dude, when he
this guy's in the tank.
The week before that, he delivered that RKO to Randy Orton. That shit was fucking sick.
Yeah.
That was sick, dude. I love
Edge totally. Before Chopper to tell you this, right before he retired, dude, I was on that Edge train.
So was I, dude. He was so
we were
good.
both riding that train.
Yeah,
so good.
I mean, his stuff was fucking fantastic.
I still think his best feud, in my opinion, it was him and John Cena.
Oh God, yes.
Anything he did from like, when was the Nexus? 2007,
2010.
2010.
No.
Yeah.
It was way
2009,
before-
2010.
No. I'm talking about wait. It was. I was still living in Queens.
No. Okay. So from
The original Nexus, CM Punk Nexus.
Oh, that was
2010.
2010, dude.
Was it really?
Yeah. The original Nexus was the group with Daniel Bryan, but then they broke off into two groups.
So anything between 2007 and 2011, when he retired, Edge was fucking fantastic.
I loved his shit was Batista. His stuff with Batista was amazing.
Yeah.
His stuff with Taker was him and Jericho was great.
Edge is the reason why Taker has a quote unquote streak. I don't know if it was just something that happened backstage or he's the one that said it, but like that was the first time that it became now, public knowledge, I should say, where he was just like, I'll take it. You're undefeated at WrestleMania. I'm gonna take that away from you.
But because at that point, Edge was also undefeated at WrestleMania.
Yes.
So it was undefeated streak versus undefeated. That was actually a
Yes.
really good storyline too.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But like I said, like to
No,
me,
he was. I'm sorry. I'm doing this by memory. I'm getting corrected in the chat room. I'm sorry. CM Punk wasn't the original Nexus.
no, yeah, that was
He took over.
He took over after he kicked out Wade Barrett out of the
Wade
group.
Barrett,
right,
And then
right,
Wade
right.
Barrett made his group called the Core.
the core.
Edge was there for the original
Ugh.
Nexus. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
but
I'm doing this by memory.
But like I
Plus
said,
I'm drinking.
Edge is very underrated. He was one of the first guys that go, I'm a heel. I don't have to. I can't have a shirt be sold.
Yeah, the
'Cause
stuff
I'm
with
a
Matt
heel.
Hardy.
I bought all of his fucking shirts.
Oh, yeah.
I loved his shirts. They were great.
That DVD, the best of the DVD that they had.
The Decade of Decadence? Oh, forget
yeah.
it.
man, it's so good.
Like I said, I agree. I'm excited for him against Orton because I think it's going to be
It's
good.
going to be good.
But I just think that I don't know. Maybe this is going to be
It'll be a fun match. It's
It's
not going
a,
to be amazing.
it's a feeler match for Edge because like Edge, this is your way back in. Like deal with somebody you can work with. Let's see what you can do in the ring. I'm assuming he's obviously working outside the ring, but like there's so many other matches we want to see. Him against AJ, him against Seth. I mean, literally.
I think him and Seth should go at it because remember the year that Seth.
Yes.
Let's
stomped
yeah,
his-
like, but let him get his feet wet. He just came back.
Like I
They
said-
threw him right into the fucking fire though with Randy Orton. so.
You could swing a dead cat at the roster right now and be like, I want to see Edge fight this guy. I want to see Edge go against this guy.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not mad
you
at
put-
it either.
If you
but-
put a blindfold over your eyes and just threw darts at like random names, I want to see Edge versus Lesnar or
yeah, Buddy Murphy.
Buddy Murphy or
Yeah.
oh God.
Yeah,
Did you ever see Edge
Kevin Owens.
Did you ever see Edge versus Lesnar?
Think
I have. It was amazing.
think about the promos. Like just hypothetically. Now, obviously, Edge, he's never going to be a baby. He's never going to be a heel now at this point.
No.
He'd have to do something really bad. But like, think about him and Elias. Elias obviously now is a babyface, but you turn Elias heel. Think about the promos leading into it.
I love
Yeah,
Elias.
it's nice to have him back. You
Yes.
know, it's I guess it's nostalgia too, but like I didn't appreciate him until like 2000.
Exactly.
2000. I didn't dislike him.
And
I just didn't
I-
appreciate him until like 2007.
I
2008.
saw the star rise by like 2001 when he went on the singles push because his matches with Kurt Angle in 2002.
He was
Well-
European champion.
Yeah,
Who?
he was.
Edge?
Edge.
Never.
No, he was Intercontinental champion.
Intercontinental champion, U.S.
You
champion.
sure he wasn't European?
Nope, never.
Choppy
Okay.
is the expert on that.
I do know for a fact that him and Kurt Angle used to tore it up in the him and Eddie Guerrero.
Yes.
yeah.
Oh my God, that's the reason why he broke his neck the first time was because of him and Eddie.
Eddie was so good, and that was the thing too. It's the roster's still that strong.
Yeah.
man.
The roster is still that strong, so they have a lot of shit going on.
By the way, did they come out with a new episode of Ruthless Aggression yet?
No,
They're up
I
to
haven't
5
seen.
episodes.
Motherfuckers, man.
They're up to
I
5
still
episodes.
haven't seen the FCW thing, so I was watching.
That's
You
good.
need to watch.
That's
that.
good.
I
You
was
need to watch
watching the
that.
ECW thing today, and I thought about it, and then
You
I
need to watch
I
that.
had to leave, so I was like, oh,
FC, it's about an hour and a half. It's really good.
yeah,
I mean, they talk very highly of Roman Reigns. I think what was his name? Dr. Tom Pritchard was like, there's some guys, man. They just belong one place on the card, and that's the main event, and that's Roman Reigns.
Fuck. Speaking of Roman Reigns, I ran out of superstar bars.
but so now it's funny because I'm cynical by my core. Like, how much do you think that WWE planted that? Like, Tom, do me a favor, just say this about fucking Roman Reigns.
Well,
I hope
I'm
not,
sure they did.
obviously,
but you know who else they talked about in that documentary was Ricky Steamboat's son.
yeah, Richie.
Richie.
They
Richie
thought
Steamboat.
that he was gonna be the next big thing as
Well,
well.
he was signed with them for like what 3 years or something.
And he got hurt though.
He got hurt really bad. His back was.
And then he's never in the business.
Steve Keirn said that he didn't feel like he had it in the he didn't have it in him to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, I can't wait because it was funny because I'll talk about it later with the throwback. Like I had watching the throwback, like I had so many thoughts about how present wrestling is and everything. And like to me, I was just like, how you can do it for certain things. How like Ricky Steamboat never was a heel. You could say the same thing about Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer was never a heel. It's like it's funny how like Tommy Dreamer kind of gets left behind with the whole.
Well, the reason why you can't make a really solid comparison is because Steamboat had a 30-year run as a fucking babyface.
And he never was heel ever.
No,
but
Jay has a point. Like there are certain guys who were never heels, and they were successful too, like Tommy Dreamer. But you're comparing 10 years to 30 years. But it's and you talk about and comparing a talent.
I'm comparing
apples and oranges.
It's
apples and oranges.
But
bro.
I'm just saying. But it was funny because like watching ECW from a bubble, which I'll have a lot more to say later. But like you said, it was just kind of cool to see guys where it's just like, oh, well, it's not that cut and dry. Like, oh, guys can do this. You can flip babyface to heel very easily. There was guys in ECW that were not interchangeable.
No.
Like there was really think about how many heel turns there were in ECW.
Kevin Grifo, Shining Wizards Kevin said that Dreamer was a heel in the invasion angle.
Yeah,
but he said that didn't mean shit though.
Yeah, WWE because that was WWF doing it.
You talk about ECW exclusive.
Yeah, and
there was 10 years,
beyond,
like 10 years of him and Raven.
Yeah, and beyond, but Kevin's right though because all right. So then he's right. Like he was.
But no, you
designed as a heel, but
I get your point loosely. It's not But you're comparing apples to oranges.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Steamboat's a far better
Steamboat
worker.
had a fucking look to him like Steamboat.
Yeah. It was
Steamboat was chiseled out of granite.
And he always looked good.
And he was always
you mean to tell
worker.
me Tommy Dreamer was not chiseled out of Jello?
No.
Come on.
When he came, he had the suspenders. Remember they wanted him to be one of the American males?
Ugh.
Thank God that didn't American males.
American
Speaking of American
males.
males, that he's one of the American males makes an appearance in this
Yes,
pay-per-view.
Scotty Anton.
Okay. Anything else? One of the best guests the Wizards ever had was Scotty.
Well, he was on there for like 7 hours.
Scotty Riggs. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm good. I mean, like I said, we touched on everything. We
So real quick, I mentioned last week that the 80s WrestleCon was postponed, and there was a date supposed to be announced. Date was announced today. It's going to be September 26th, I believe it is.
Cool.
So that'll give you guys enough time to fucking get your tickets and come down and see us in Freehold, New Jersey.
We're gonna have our own table there again.
Our own table. We'll be broadcasting live from there. We'll have some merch. We'll have all the gimmicks.
Chances are I'll be drinking then.
Chances are I'm not going to be. Hopefully, I'll have a ride, but I'll be drinking too.
Chances are I'm going to act like an asshole too.
Yeah,
that's not even. There's no chance.
Goes
without saying you're going to be an asshole. Well, I guess the cat's out of bed. We're going extreme tonight for the throwback.
Of course. Wait.
So this is a really good one picked out, and we have a cool throwback for you tonight. And I hope you guys are enjoying the show. I hope Otto's still in the room because he's a huge ECW mark.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
He's a huge ECW mark. So I hope you guys are still hanging out with us when we get back. Let's take a quick break. Let's plug all our pals. And I got a nice little promo for you to come back with from the Sinister Minister.
Oh, that was good. That was so good.
And we got a Turnbuckle Throwbacks, and we will be right back.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Okay, let's give this a try. The Shining Wizards is a funny wrestling podcast. No. The Shining Wizards is an insightful wrestling podcast. How about this? The Shining Wizards is a great wrestling podcast that airs live Monday nights at 7 p.m. East on rantmradio.com and Rant Entertainment Media on the TuneIn app. Of course, it's available on all podcasting platforms. I think that covers it. To check us out, go over to shiningwizards.com and get ready to join us for some wrestling talk and talk about wrestling.
I don't know.
All those moments will be lost in time. Like tears in rain.
In a world where Hollywood tries to tell you how to live while doing the exact opposite, where fresh ideas are tossed away for a cash grab reboot, where the media has become nothing but propaganda and freedom is traded for what they tell you is security and safety. There is inconclusive breakdown. Your weekly look at current events and entertainment with no political correct BS. Just news and uncensored opinions everywhere you get podcasts. A proud member of the Shining Wizards Network.
Horns up, beautiful motherfuckers. Radioactive Metal is here on the Shining Wizards Network, and we want you to listen.
Every week, we cover the world of heavy metal and speak to your favorite bands.
We discuss new releases, concerts, controversies, and everything else that's related to heavy metal.
And occasionally, we even talk about pro wrestling.
Catch us live every Thursday night on purerockradio.net.
Listen to past episodes at radioactivemetal.org or at shiningwizardsnetwork.com.
And remember, it's not metal unless it's radioactive metal.
Hey, this is Mike from the Midnight Jury. When you are done with this show, join my co-hosts Adam, Cal, Sydney, and I every Friday as we travel back to the last old school generation of the 80s and 90s to review the best and worst in pop culture, horror, and occasionally pro wrestling on WLWstudios.com or the Midnight Jury feeds on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, or Player FM. Go back in time when it was all about VHS, arcades, and hanging out at the mall. And remember that every second Saturday of the month, we go live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Rant EM Radio, which includes taking your calls. Once again, that's the Midnight Jury on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Player FM, and our home, WLWstudios.com. We'll see you there.
This is J.J. Dillon, the leader of the original Four Horsemen, and you're listening to Phil J. and that NBS Chappie on the Turnbuckle Throwbacks.
We're going to discuss ECW's 7 Deadly Sins. At the top of the list, we have greed and the insane luchador Super Crazy, a man so selfish he dared to defy the network in his quest for the world television title. Next, we have vanity, which brings to mind the Impact Players' executive Jezebel, Dawn Marie. But if ever vanity were justified. Number 3 is gluttony. Let's just say Big Sally Graziano gives new meaning to the phrase devouring the competition. Number 4 is sloth. And that poor lost soul, Raven, who's taking this whole slacker business just a tad too seriously. Hey, Scotty, it's a gimmick. Next, we have wrath. Been there, done that, please. Let's move on. Envy. The American dream, Dusty Rhodes, is so jealous of the old school hero Steve Corino's youthfulness that it makes me want to vomit. And finally, we come to my favorite sin of all, lust. Francine wants my Raven in the worst kind of way. After all, he's no dreamer. Let's just say that it's going to be one hell of a show. And any company that dares to compete with an ECW pay-per-view is going to be living dangerously.
Extreme
All right.
Yeah.
What a good throwback.
I can't believe the Blue Meanie was skinny.
I can't believe he was with porn star Jasmine St. Clair.
They were really an item.
You want to know? You want to know something? After watching it, I looked and I was just like, "Let me look at Jasmine St. Clair." I couldn't find her on the old interwebs. You have to look through.
All right. Are you ready for your throwback?
I think I'm ready.
All right. Let's do it.
And now, here is your throwback of the week, sponsored by the Shining Wizards Network and EM Radio.
What the fuck was that for?
I just thought of Kamala when I heard that song, that music.
Oh, Mark Lewin here. Where's my bell? Hold on.
There it is.
No, not that.
I know what he's
This
talking.
fucking thing. Hold on.
Where's your gimmick?
This thing is terrible. Nothing works.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I hate this fucking. I want
Goddamn technology.
I want a real studio. Damn it! I stopped playing the lotto.
Goddamn technology.
Hey.
Maybe if we hit the lotto during this crisis, we won't have to worry about money.
Oh, this is true.
We can split the proceeds 3 ways.
We're still underneath the umbrella of Phil Ray Enterprises.
Of course we are. But
Again with the Phil Ray.
But you want to know something? Maybe if Phil Ray becomes a rabbi, then it'll be a nonprofit organization.
Bada bang, don't have to pay taxes.
Shlomo Raya. Shlomo Rayowitz.
Moist Raya.
Moist Rayowitz. What is that? Velvet?
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful. You know, Kunta from upstairs.
Kunta from upstairs.
All right, what date is this? March what?
March 12th, I think.
March 12th, 2000 from Danbury, Connecticut. The hotbed of wrestling. No, I'm joking.
It was definitely a hotbed. It was a lot of people there.
No,
Well, wasn't there a WrestleMania from Danbury?
No, that was Hartford.
Oh, Hartford.
So,
That was WrestleMania 13,
11.
11.
with Diesel and Sean, and then
No, with LT
and Bam Bam.
LT and Bam Bam.
Yeah, I remember watching a shoot video with Bam Bam. He was like, "Yeah, you were you may have been the main event, but I was the event. I was with LT. Goddamn, I was the last match on the show.
Living Dangerously,
Oh.
2000.
Great show.
This was fun.
Well,
Jay?
I was just gonna say. So this is gonna be an unpopular opinion here, and I'm a huge ECW guy.
Here we fucking go.
Wow,
but
you gonna
we
piss
should've-
us- are we gonna have to have a conversation
We're gonna
already?
have to have a
We should have just went
conversation.
with WCW Green and call it a day.
I by the time this was over, I looked at myself and I just go, no wonder why ECW went down under. Like it was just so much.
But it was always like that.
Exactly.
Every pay per view or every show was like that.
Exactly. That's what I was just gonna say. There was no like you look at it now and you just go, oh, that's why. But it was still at this time, I was the biggest ECW mark out there.
I was just happy because, well, I was happy for a few reasons, but I was happy that Joel Gertner got more mic time.
Yeah.
Now that we know him on a personal basis, it's even more fun.
he's
The more I watch him now on TV, the more we appreciate him because he's a friend of the show.
So good.
Right? And that and the fact that this whole network thing versus the network versus ECW.
I thought it was a great story.
I thought it was fun because everybody involved was good.
yes.
Don Callis
played it
was
perfectly.
good. Cyrus the Virus.
The network is not happy with you right now.
Yeah, so obviously TNN is doing the weekly shows now. The video game is out.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a decline, but
You hated that video game.
That
I
video
fucking
game was the
hate
shit.
it.
I actually
hated that
loved
game.
it. It was like it was WWF Attitude for the.
I remember
fucking
renting
terrible.
it. I remember renting it and just going, this is it.
I loved it.
Right? So I can tell you vividly, I was 3 months into my career.
Yeah.
And I can remember just being exhausted from doing like the 10-hour shifts, 15-hour shifts. And I was like, oh man, I had the hot box, right? And I came home, I was living in Brooklyn, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna just sit down on this fucking 9,000-year-old couch that we had in the spare room, pop open the gimmicks, and I'm gonna fucking do my thing. And that's exactly what I did. I watched this pay-per-view, and I can remember vividly just appreciating TV because I was so tired, you know.
Yeah.
And I was at that point, I was video recording Raw and ECW, and I was recording all these. I didn't watch any of these shows live. I was never home.
Yeah.
I just recording stuff on, and I would buy these 8-hour videotapes from the Chinese store in 8th Avenue in Brooklyn.
It goes like $1.
Yeah, and I was recording every night. I was recording them, and I would just watch them on the weekends. So I remember.
This was a show I definitely didn't see live. I mean, I watched
this one. I watched
TNN.
I literally recorded it, so that way I could bring it the next day to school.
All right, dumpling face.
All right, they're tag team.
I remember being in high school, and this was the quote unquote cooler talk. Like guys that were in the know, like wrestling fans, like ECW was the hottest thing that was happening. They were, especially now in 2000. They were the solid number 2.
Action figures, video games. The figures were out already.
I love the figures. Oh
yeah,
I had Taz.
I had them all.
Taz,
And I had Rob Van Dam.
I had them all. I had Shane Douglas. I had
wow, yeah.
Chris Candido. I wish they had Bam Bam. That would have been great if they had Bam Bam.
Scott Charles Bam Bam Bigelow.
But yeah, they were a solid number 2 at this point. So like, and that's what's funny. Like I remember. So then when I watched it today, obviously with past eyes, and I just go, man, like I didn't really like nothing from tonight made me think of like I gotta watch TNN. Like, but it was still good for what it was. I mean, obviously with the opening match to me was just awesome because
I'm surprised that was the opening match when I first saw it. I was like,
I agree too, because I was like, this is the way they're gonna lead off.
They should have waited. They should have waited.
You know what it was? Dusty had to get back on the flight down. He's like, listen, baby, I'll come.
What would Dusty
Dusty,
say? What would Dusty say to Carino at this point? You tell me,
baby.
You like this hat? You better like this hat. You know what it is? I got this bull rope. I love this shit here.
I'd come closer to tipping it to a Jezebel down on the street.
Baby,
Taskmaster had an idea to go to the urinals there, but Benoit fighting back.
This is the best I've ever seen when you talk about street fighting falls anywhere right here.
Right there with security.
There's a lady. Here he goes.
Wow. I tell you,
There's a lady. There's a lady in the men's bathroom. Right there. There is a woman in the men's John right here in Baltimore.
Oh my God. There's a lady.
Can you believe that?
Yes, I can.
She just stopped off. Get the belief. Got to get some relief. Got to get the belief.
There's a lady.
Tip their hat to a lady.
Tip their hat to a lady.
But like I said, like to me, like he just said, he goes, Paulie, don't you worry, baby. I'm gonna come in, but I gotta be the first show because I gotta get the first flight out.
Here's the deal. I got me some stuff going on the other side of the world. I need to get in here with my bull rope and my bells and whatnot.
At the show, I gotta go see Dirty Dick real quick.
Yeah, I gotta go get my gorilla. That's what I got to get.
Baby, I'm gonna tell. What do you need me to do? You want me to blade? No problem, baby. I'm gonna give you some juice.
Do you want me to go over?
But you better put some extra zeros if you want me to juice.
Do you want me to go over Steve Carino, if you will?
No, you gotta do the Harley race. It's like, baby, what's your finish? It's this. He goes, I'm a move. I'm gonna hit you with the elbow.
Oh man!
Like I said, the opening segment with Joel Gertner and Don Callis and Cyrus. It was good because it accented what ECW was.
And by the way, what about that super kick with Don Callis?
Yo, that was a really good super kick.
With him being in a suit and everything, he got a nice little super kick in there.
Dusty's in the dressing room in there, and of course, I can just picture this. Right, I'm thinking about this today. Well, I watched it again today, and I'm thinking, how the younger guys do the respect, and they walk around the locker room, they shake everybody's hand and introduce themselves. I could just see like guys like Chris Chetty walking over to Dusty. Mr. Rhodes, how are you? My name is Chris Chetty. Dusty look at him, turn around, open his bag, put down his hat, and go,
You like this hat? You better like this hat. That's no lie.
and I could just imagine his face, like in Jack Victory, going, "Oh, look at him ripping the kid."
Yeah.
You know.
But it was funny. And then the same thing, like we, talking about it, like we were saying last week about Colby Carino or whatever. Like Steve Carino was he was a pretty big deal in 2000. Like
He's so young too. He's only 26.
he was a really big deal because he got this over, like, and he knew what to do. Like he knew how to talk. He knew to pull from this, pull from that, and just go. What we're doing is just doing the same thing. We're just going to put a little bit of garnish on it, and I loved it. Like I said, especially the match. Like the match is a little bit clunky. I mean, say what you want. The match was clunky.
Dusty was already past.
Oh yeah.
He was like what 55, 56?
Yeah, something like that.
Jack Victory's looking at him like, Dusty, you're supposed to hit me with an elbow about 5 seconds ago. So that he's waiting for the elbow to come. But above all else, like I said, if you look at it from past eyes, like it was really good. Like it was a really good Dusty match.
It made Carino in the eyes of the ECW
and that's what it was. And that's the thing about it. And I think it doesn't get. I don't know if you can find anything with Dusty.
I wasn't too upset about him winning over this match either because I was like,
Steve Carino does. I have a Dusty two Christmases ago. I got a video from Shining Woods' Tony for Christmas. It's a shoot interview, and Steve Carino interviews Baby Doll,
the Money Maccabee.
No, no. It's Baby Doll, Kevin Sullivan, and Ivan Koloff.
Oof.
And he briefly talks about this match and how Dusty you put him over, and
and that's what I'm saying. Like there's, we could pick apart everything. Like the stuff in the crowd where Jack Victory's just chasing, like he's got his hands on Dusty's shoulders, like, and they're just walking through the crowd, like clunky. But nonetheless, at the end of the day, it's Dusty fucking Rhodes, like still in a Texas bull rope match. Fucking.
What about the popping?
Gigging himself on the fucking, Steve Carino's gigging himself on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Like,
At
dude,
one point,
like,
Joey Styles
good,
brushes
man.
off Dusty's wheezing as taking a brutal beating.
What about the pop that he got for dropping that elbow on Carino, dude?
And you look at that elbow, you can't fit a sheet of paper in there.
Ooh.
Like
I like that. You can't fit.
He took all of it, yo.
You can't. Like and dude, and that's what it is. And it's funny because, and like I said, Dusty is what, 50, 55, 56, we said. Like you can't do much in between that, but Dusty's showing you, baby, it's all about what you can do. It's not about what you can't do.
That's right.
Accentuate your positives, hide the negatives.
That's
baby.
right. And
You like this hat? Sure do. You better like this hat. That's no lie.
Shimani's saying sure do.
Sure do.
And that's what it was. Like to me, like I said, and Dusty, it's like, what do you need me to do, baby? Oh yeah, I'm gonna go over. But like you said, but he knew, and Dusty's a genius like this, like where he knew, it's like, dude, I can still go over, and I'm gonna make a star out of Carino. And Carino probably, obviously, we can all have this fantasy warfare where it's like he never ascended to where he's supposed to be, maybe.
Well, we talked about Steve Carino and how he was a sponge and how he, basically
he should have been a millionaire.
He should have been.
Yeah. I mean, he everybody forgets he was NWA champion, and then everybody forgets his run in Japan.
Yeah.
He was 0-1 champion. If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yeah.
But and like I said, because that gets discarded from his
Guys, I apologize for the defeat.
There was a time, and me included, like he left ECW. I don't know where he went. I didn't know anything about it, internet or whatever. Like all of a sudden, 2003 shows up. He's in MLW. He's in Japan. And
Didn't he go to TNA for a little bit?
He was in TNA. I think he was in TNA for a little bit.
He might have been,
but I know
he wasn't big.
But I know
he was in 0-1. I won his 0-1 stuff. I have to look into that.
But I know he was in Ring of Honor for a cup of coffee too.
Dude, that was Scum.
No, prior to that.
Oh no, because I remember him, Kevin Steen.
Oh yeah, Scum.
Yeah.
Matt Hardy was in there as well.
Jimmy Jacobs, right?
And this is going to be a dumb question.
What's
but
up, Donnie D?
Why did he retire? Like he kind of retired out of nowhere.
I
Like,
think he retired due to the fact that I think he was offered that trainer position with the Performance Center.
Did you see his son wrestle last week on NWA?
I did not. Was he good?
He wrestled George South.
No, the
it was
jobber.
good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah,
Really, really good.
Kobe got his shit together, man. He's clean.
How
now.
old is he? Like 20?
24,
He's got a
23,
kid. Yeah,
24?
he's off the drugs. He looks just like his dad.
I didn't even know he was on drugs.
Yeah, I said the same exact
was
thing.
bad? Heroin- yeah,
I said this.
heroin.
Yeah, I said the same exact thing.
He fucking dude. He looks so good.
I remember he wrestled on 205 Live as a jobber for I forget who it was, and then Carino mentioned it on Facebook
Oh,
because I saw it and I was like, oh shit, look at that.
but yeah, no, he did the right thing, and like I said, and like I said, Carino's one of those guys that you can have this, the talk of like what should have been.
Because
he
he's one
was-
of my favorite people.
He should have went to the E. And
But
been a millionaire.
he's one of those guys. If he was 2 inches taller and 40 pounds heavier,
He wasn't that short though.
that's what I'm saying. He's 6'1", 6'2".
6'1", 6'2".
But if he was 2 inches taller, he would be in the conversation
He
of
was so good.
Yeah,
dude, the way that he could draw heat from the crowd, and
of old
especially
school.
we would see it later on in the night when he would come out with
the king of old school.
with Rhino or whatever. But like I said, I mean, my overall idea of the match, it was a good match, clunky, it was.
Dusty hits the big fat elbow in 10
Yeah.
minutes and 12 seconds.
But like I said, but it's one of those things. And how many times did Dusty have to reach down and pick up his pants? Like, Dusty, do you not have a belt?
Dusty was way overweight, super old. And this is my hero, but again, he was overweight. He was old.
Call it what it is.
He was not wearing those damn polka dots. So
No, he was not. He was wearing fucking cow. He was wearing his bunkhouse stampede.
But
gear.
he came there and he entertained, and he knew what he was. And like I said, he bladed, Carino bladed how many times? 7, 8 times, whatever. But like, and it was funny. Like there was like one point with Jack Victory, which Jack Victory is a really funny guy to like talk about in ECW because like he was not a prominent figure in 2000, but like he was always with Carino. Who the fuck was Jack Victory before this? He was a job guy.
Not really though. He was a mid-card tag team guy.
No, but
where in UWF or
and WCW.
I tell you right now though, Jack Victory was never as good as Tommy Rich showing out the gimmicks.
Oh no.
How did Tommy Rich did
So here's what I'm saying, guys. I got my heel DVDs here. I got my face DVDs here. I got all my stuff of Buzz Sawyer in the back. Let me tell y'all something, man. This is fantastic stuff. I got 8x10s right here. I got me and Sam Houston 8x10s of us in the gimmick. Man, it was so good.
I'm surprised Don West was over there.
Y'all
Big
say,
Island people.
y'all say something about selling gimmicks?
Mark McGuire rookie card. Sammy Sosa. Britney Spears is Vegeta.
But like I said,
I'm shot.
It was a good match. Like I said, but I mean, much to be desired for, yeah. But for what it was, it was good.
Now the next segment was with the Louis Dangerously and the Dangerous Lions.
Right before that, Cyrus the Virus announced that Sandman is in the hospital. With
That's
Laura.
right. Yes, I remember that. And then he was like, "Looks like Rhino's going to go and get a bye."
Yeah, because the TV title tournament.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Which was like good storytelling on ECW.
I'm pretty much have mentioned this before, but like for people who don't know, the reason they're having this tournament is because Rob Van Dam at a house show, doing a baseball slide, rolled an ankle under him. His ankle rolled under him, and he had to drop the belt. And then he goes to Cyrus, and he drops the belt to Cyrus. He's like, "Just to let you know, whoever's your chosen champion, I'm going to come back here and get my fucking title back." And he walked away. It was great.
Yeah,
and it was cool. Oh, I'll mention it when Brett Van Dam comes out because his attire. I'll mention it in a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
But so it's the next match. Jay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It was Louis Dangerously and the new Dangerous Alliance.
Who was Beautiful Billy?
Beautiful Billy Wild.
Wasn't that Bill? Wild Bill or something like that, or
beautiful? It was Billy Wild.
Billy Wild,
something like that. Or Wild, I forgot what it was. But
I forgot to look that up.
But CW Anderson, come on,
he still wrestles, dude.
Yeah,
he was in NWA.
And it was funny. I was listening to On's podcast with and
who was he teaming up with 2 weeks ago?
CW
Anderson was in the NWA. He teamed up with
Oh yeah. He was
he teamed up with somebody for a contract. Fuck, guys,
Murdoch?
Chat room, help me. No.
Oh, he
Like
was
a cruiserweight kind of kid. He's been
No,
there for a
I don't
minute.
know.
Oh my god,
I don't know.
I
He
forgot, but he was in the
on there.
NWA 2 weeks ago,
And but
he won. They won a contract. They won the contract.
Oh, wow.
but CW Anderson, like, and it was funny because On said he ran into CW years later after CW was using it, and he said he goes, oh, I hope you don't mind, like I used the Anderson name, and On looked at him and just goes, that's fine, like you look like me, and as long as you're making money, I don't care. Like you're not taking money off of me. It's like, if anything, like he wasn't. Even On says, like, I wasn't an Anderson.
I'm sure Martin London didn't give a shit about it.
I'm gonna change the subject for 1 second. Shaylin just sent a message on Instagram. There's a WWE shirt that's on the .com, and it says, "I wasn't there, so it's too big for one night."
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, I'm actually buying that T-shirt.
Wow.
Tomorrow. I'm actually buying that
That's a
T-shirt.
great
tomorrow.
idea, though.
Thank you, Shaylin. I'm buying that T-shirt tomorrow, and I'm gonna buy a Tampa Bay Bucks hat to fucking match it.
That's a great idea.
That's dope.
What about our boy Brady?
Your boy Brady. I like Tampa Bay. It's one of my favorite football teams, but it's Jet fans are all happy now.
I don't hate it. I
of course you're a fucking Jet fan.
No, I'm a Giant
I thought
fan.
you were a Jet fan.
I'm a Giant fan. I don't hate it, and I'll tell you why.
You guys beat them twice. So.
Get it correct, Daddy. We're the kryptonite when it comes to the Patriots.
That's right, baby.
I'll tell you why I don't hate it, because Tom Brady's going to go to Tampa Bay and go, who's the worst team in the NFL? Oh, these guys? I'll show you how good I am. And that's what he's going to do with fucking Belichick.
Listen, $30 million a year with a great coaching staff. Now we're jumping off the ship here, but he's got a really good coach.
Think about what they did. Dude, this guy's going to be a star because
I'm excited.
They made Jameis Winston.
Brady's going to be a star?
Yeah,
he's on the Bucks. He's already the guy's won 6 fucking championships in 41 playoff games. Okay,
wow, it made it seem like he's John Cena. We're gonna make John Cena a star at 43 years old. I mean, come on.
I think I liked all the.
I think he's gonna do really well with the Bucks. I think he is. I think he'll be fine. Buccaneers, whatever you want to call him. And
well, he's what 42,
43. He'll be 43 this year.
Correct.
He's gonna be like Mr.
He'll be fine.
It's gonna be great.
I think
it's gonna be great. He says. Your
But,
Giants got a little better this week. They made some moves.
Who cares?
He said, "Who cares?"
Fuck
My Vikings lost all their defense.
Fuck them. Fuck them.
Like all the defense.
Fuck the Vikings. Fuck the Giants. Fuck them all.
Yeah, fuck football. No, I'm joking. I like football. All right. I'm sorry, Jay.
what
Carry
was the
on,
next,
bro.
the next match was
New Dangerous Alliance versus
Christian.
the graduates of
Danny Doring
Danny
and
Doring.
Amish Roadkill and Electra coming out with them.
chickens. Now, Electra, wasn't she an exotic dancer?
She was a stripper on The Sopranos.
And
Right, that's right.
But it's so then, which we'll get to later, but like she cut a really good promo.
She did.
Like better than a lot of ECW guys did at that time.
Well, that's.
But like I said, the match was good. CW Anderson, once again, another guy that's just seamless. Like no matter what he does, it's just he knows how to work in that ring, plays to his strengths, hides the weaknesses.
I tell you, man, nobody threw a spine buster like Arn, but CW was pretty close.
What a fun team, huh?
Yeah,
I think Amish Roadkill for the guy his size, for him to do what he does what he did in the ring. My God.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, guys like him, he's over 300. He's got
to be close to 4 at least.
You mean Choppy saw his cousin?
And I was gonna
with the Amish.
And I was gonna say, like, we with him, and I was gonna talk about Balls Mahoney. We'll talk about him later. But like these guys were unsung heroes. Like they were big guys that were moving around in this ring, bumping and everything, and throwing moves. Like they were 100 pounds less than they were. Yeah, and the crowd was hot.
The crowd was into Danny Doring and Amish Roadkill, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
They were just over. And so, like I said, the match goes on, and then Electra pushes Doring off, and all this stuff. And nobody's seen it at the time.
Right, and this was for #1 contendership for the World Tag Team title.
Correct.
Yeah, defender later on tonight. We'll get into that too.
And Danny Doring was like, if you want to put it to the today's standards or whatever, he was the Joey Ryan of 2000. Like how Joey Ryan is today, like that was Danny Doring back then.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean that's the equivalent I got.
Me and Brielle, we were watching the match with Danny Doring and Amish Roadkill. She was like, "What is up with this dude?" I was, "Who are you talking about? The dude in the pink." Why is he acting like such a fruitcake? What's wrong with him? I was like, that's Danny Doring.
Danny fucking Doring.
He's the last ECW World Tag Team Champion with Amish Roadkill.
This is true.
Don't fuck
the Danaconda.
The Danaconda.
The Danaconda.
That's right. So Electra turns on Roadkill.
Yep.
Yeah.
CW Anderson hits the spine buster on Doring for the upset pin at 722.
And then my favorite move was the bareback that Danny Doring did. The bareback.
The bareback. It was and if anything you take from ECW is like Joey Styles, one didn't need a color guy. Absolutely did
That's
not.
racist. You said colored?
Well,
color.
Color.
Ring the bell. Sorry,
And,
I'm sorry.
He didn't need a color guy or a colored guy.
No,
one
he
or the
did.
other.
Stop it.
But he knew every move. He knew every individual that did the move. Like even if it was the same move, he knew what it was to the guy.
He was such a fan of the product, not just the
Yes.
product, just of wrestling in general. And he knew, and you know what it was? He watched so much Japanese wrestling.
Yes.
I mean, everyone called the Kata Hajime the transmission, but he would just call it the Kata Hajime and not call it that. And they're like, what the hell is that? And then,
Yeah.
he was such a genius.
But and we'll see a little bit later on. Like you can see Styles is move towards the Japanese guys or
Yeah.
whatever. But
oh man,
his commentary, I think. I mean, if you put in the Mount Rushmore of commentary, you got to go Gordon Soley. You have to go.
I'm not a Soley guy.
Oh my God, really? Oh, I'm on the wrong side. Then.
I'm more of I'm gonna go with
God, Chops.
Jim Ross. What are we talking about? Mount Rushmore?
Mount Rushmore, 4 people.
Jim Ross, Styles. You're gonna call me crazy, but Michael Cole.
Wow.
And and Shivani.
Gordon Soley, Jim Ross. I'm going to do 4.
Yeah.
Gordon Soley, Jim Ross, Joey Styles, and Gorilla Monsoon.
Wow. I forgot about Monsoon. Yeah,
yeah,
it was pretty good.
It was funny. I was actually.
But see, the thing is, Monsoon was good if he had the right color guy. But because if Monsoon was with, like, say, for example, with Alfred Hayes, he was awful.
I disagree because I think he made everybody. He made Bobby. He made Jesse. He made.
I disagree.
I think Jesse made him.
When I was
no way.
When I was going to say my top 4,
Jesse was color. This is not color commentating.
I know
because those are color. Because these are play-by-play guys.
I know play by. That's what I'm saying.
No, I was talking about announcers in general.
No, we're talking about play-by-play.
Oh, then you then
you can actually do a Mount Rushmore of the best color guys and play-by-play.
Yeah, like I said, it was going to be Gorilla because as soon as I think of old school WWF, it's Gorilla Monsoon.
I'm Gordon Soley. Welcome.
And
but Gordon Soley is a number 2.
The only reason I went with Michael Cole is because he's been doing it since 1997. Dude.
Yeah,
but if it wasn't for Soley, you wouldn't have guys calling solo shit.
Yeah,
Soley did it.
But Styles is very often. I don't know if he's often overlooked. I probably shouldn't say it like that, but he's overlooked.
Paul Heyman stepped in shit because like Choppy said, Joey Styles did his due diligence, right? But he put a twist on everything, and he was relatable. He had the New York accent.
Yeah,
he had the he was biased to an extent.
Yes, exactly.
And
he was super babyface. Like he was,
and whoever he worked with, he made look good.
Yeah.
Like whether it was Shane Douglas, whether it was Rick Rude, whether it was Cyrus, or whether it was Joe Gertner,
like I
or
said,
Mick
like
Foley.
Think of Tommy Dreamer. Like Tommy Dreamer did, for Barely Legal.
What about when him and Taz called the matches?
Yeah.
Like I said, like to me, it was just like listening to Joey Styles was like, oh, this is what I remember about ECW. I think it was like it's a very warm memory of like how it's supposed to be done. He called it as a fan. He didn't call it as it was happening. He called it also as a fan, which I think gets a little bit lost in translation.
Nobody, you know what? You know who's even better than Joey Styles? Me. I scared the poor Padre at the.
You did. Anyway, and what's the problem with me and Choppy is when Choppy and I when we do color commentary and play-by-play, we get lost. Like I'll start doing play-by-play, he'll do the color, and then like he'll get mad, and then he'll start doing like, look at this, wow, what a drop kick. He goes, drop kick, and I'm like, yeah, it's a great drop. Wait a minute, I thought I was doing. But then it gets lost in translation too. Yeah, you can't. I mean, the more you listen to that, the more
but anyway, yeah, like I said, we digress from it. But like,
if I'm going to do color guys, I got to go Bobby.
Oh yeah, well, color is Bobby,
Jesse,
got to be Jesse.
Dusty
was great.
I like Tony Schiavone.
Yeah, no,
David Crockett.
Was Schiavone really a color guy though?
David Crockett, the guy from World Class was good. And
no, we're going with color guys. Are we doing color guys?
Yeah.
Was Schiavone really a color guy though?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nah, Dusty was played by Tony.
Dusty didn't do a lot of commentating until like the late 90s.
Yeah, 96, 97.
He hit him in the groin with a toilet seat.
He's got a bicycle.
He's got a bicycle.
There's a poor boy here now without a bicycle.
There's a lady in the bathroom. She had to stop off and get some relief.
But like I said, like to me, he was. I guess it's hard to say like with color because Bobby, you got to say Bobby the Brain. Jesse was the first guy that brought the heel persona to commentary.
Well, Bobby Heenan did it too, though. On like talking like 80. Well, yeah,
I'm gonna go Bobby, Jesse, Jerry the King Lawler.
I was just gonna say,
and that's not bad.
Jerry Lawler is another one that's on
Tony Schiavone.
No, I'm gonna go with Taz. Taz was a really good color guy.
Taz was very
on
good
SmackDown.
Too.
Forget it, dude.
Taz was very good, and he's still good. And he was on
the show
AEW this week. Taz is very good.
I love Taz.
I listen. I
know
love
you do. He's your favorite ECW champion of all time.
He was my favorite ECW champion.
And
goddamn right.
Which, like you said, which is funny because you can see from this show what's missing from the product is
as you run down
the core guys, the Tazes, the Dudleys, the RVD comes later, but like Sabu's not there. Shane Douglas isn't there. Like, there's the core guys. Yeah.
Right. So now we go into an Impact Players promo,
which was good.
So I mean, it's Impact Players. It's not, and then your next match was Simon Diamond versus Kid Cash. Oh, awesome!
He's like, guys, I'm the ECW World Heavyweight Champion and Tag Team Champion. You got one thing: get the fuck out of my ring, or I'm gonna mess you up. And then Kid Cash throws his towel at him and starts beating on him, and then there proceeds to be a fucking squash match.
Oh,
right?
He's super bomb to the he grips him, and I'm watching it today again, and I'm like, oh no, like you could tell it was an awkward grab for him, and I'm like, he was like 3 inches away from just dropping him.
But it shows you how good Awesome was because like
how strong he was too.
Yeah, like I said, he's on the second on the second rope, holding Kid Cash over his head.
Was he on the top rope?
And then he steps up.
And then he steps up, right?
He steps up to the top rope. And dude, and like that's pretty fucking ballsy.
And it was 4 minutes, almost 5 minutes long, this match.
Squash match? Forget it.
It was 4 minutes and 41 seconds. And I'm saying to myself, this is like he's not dead yet. Like you're like 2 minutes in and Awesome's all blown up. And he's like, and I'm like, what he didn't kill him yet? Like, he's not dead. Kid Cash wouldn't die.
Yeah.
What about that belly-to-belly suplex he did right at the beginning of the match?
Holy shit, man. He fucking threw it. He suplex him. He fucking threw him.
What are your thoughts on Mike Awesome? Like,
probably.
We talked about this.
To me, I think he was underrated.
I was just going to say the same
when he was the fat chick Thriller.
I don't like him as much as you guys do. I think there were a couple of guys that he worked with better than everybody else.
Yeah.
I do remember saying that if like with Mike Awesome, the only time he was good
was Masato Tanaka.
Was Masato Tanaka.
And you could see it later on, obviously. You could just see the chemistry.
I mean, whenever he's fought a smaller guy, like for example, Spike Dudley, that match with him and Spike Dudley was really good.
And we did, yeah.
But like for example, I don't know, remember the triangle match between Taz, Masato Tanaka, and that's where Mike Awesome won the title for the first time. The match was good with Taz, but then once Taz leaves, it was just all Masato Tanaka and Mike Awesome. And you could just tell the match was fantastic.
Yeah.
And the match was so good that they did it at One Night Stand in 2005, which Phil was there with Tank. And now the match was fantastic.
Yeah. I don't dislike him because I've known him from when he was the Gladiator.
I was just gonna say his Japan stuff as well holds up
from FMW.
Yeah, he's a fucking,
his Japan stuff holds up.
He was just a beast though. Like he was at one point.
Did he ever go to New Japan?
I don't know.
He only did.
He was the Bruiser Brody of like the death matches.
Really?
Yeah, he was that over in Japan. Yeah. Him, Leatherface, all the Gaijin guys were fucking over there.
Oh, who did I just find out was Leatherface? Oh my
Cobra
god.
Kirshner.
Yeah, I did.
I
We
did not
were
know
talking
that.
about it last
I
week.
told you that.
Yeah.
Did you? Yes,
Oh, I
absolutely.
forgot.
We were talking about it
Absolutely.
last week. I was like, oh
Absolutely.
my
He was
god,
the
are
first-
you kidding me?
He was the first Leatherface.
You know
Yeah.
who's my favorite from FNW? Hayabusa.
No.
Hayabusa, Mr.
Well,
Mr. Pogo.
We
Well,
we see him later on.
Atsushi Onita was my favorite guy.
My favorite was Kanemaru. We see him later on.
Wing
I
Kanemaru,
love
yeah.
Wing Kanemaru.
Wing Kanemaru was a beast. How about this next match? Speaking of Japan, Jado and Gato,
Yeah.
Bullet Club
Bullet
members.
Club
Yeah.
Before they were Bullet Club.
versus Chetty and Nova. Nova rocking the fucking the Secret Wars Spider-Man Venom
Yes,
suit.
that was
Yeah.
great.
So dope. I loved it.
I remember when he was dressed up as Green Lantern one show.
Green Lantern. Do you remember the DJ from Hot 97? Green, and they would loop that Green DJ Green Lantern. Ching. There was a DJ from Hot 97 in the 90s and early 2000s. He was called Green Lantern, and they would take the Super Friends, and they would go DJ Green Lantern. Ching, ching, ching.
Speaking of Super Friends, I was on the Facebook Marketplace as a guy who's selling a Super Friends Dark Side for $25
Where?
on the Facebook Marketplace.
Can you send me that link?
I will. After the show, I will.
Gallopek. Lick my scrotum. I do a good Dark Side.
Dark Side was great.
He's one of my favorites, dude.
I think Darkseid is one of those guys that if you put him up against Thanos, Darkseid would fucking destroy him.
I was in Hobby Lobby last week, and they had a portrait of just villains. It was Darkseid.
Which Hobby Lobby?
Fallon have to tell me. I don't
Brunswick?
No, I forget.
Linden?
Islin.
Oh, Islin. I know where it's at.
All right, yeah.
So there's like it's got Darkseid, it's got fucking Galactus, it's got Doctor Doom, it's got a whole it's like a portrait. Yeah.
Is it as good as the one where I had where Spidey is No More Spider-Man?
Yeah, it's just as good as that.
Ooh.
Yeah. Kind of back. Anyway, this was as big of a. This was a. I mean, this is probably the best, the biggest win of Nova and Chetty's career.
Oh, hands down. And
would it be though?
Well, if you know Jado and Gato, yes.
Yeah.
If you didn't know that, you wouldn't know until now. You appreciate.
I mean, you got to remember him, Jado, Gato, and Jericho were triple. Was it six-man tag champs? I think it was.
Well,
in Mexico.
In War, wasn't it War?
No, they were
in Mexico. They were the 6-man
They were-
champs.
they were-
Jado
okay.
and Gato were in FMW too.
They were. I know that.
That's where they were from
Originally.
Yeah.
Yeah, this match was good.
This match was good.
This match
I mean, you know, you can tell, and it's funny, like knowing what we know now. Like, and this is where like I first seen it because you could see, and I'm going to say the word, the forbidden word, but the choreographedness.
You mean this is not real?
Yeah,
Dude, 350 episodes in, you tell me?
yeah. You could see the choreography that's happening.
You mean to tell me Darth Vader is not really Luke
Wait,
Skywalker?
we're gonna have to
Yeah.
have a conversation on the way home.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk.
But you could see it a little bit, like and it's just minute, but you can see the small things of like, and obviously there's a language, you know, little bit of a
That's
difference.
racist, Jay.
But there is like they're Japan, you know, and English and
Spear checker.
Yeah, and Chris Chetty speaks Long Island, which is completely different than what we all.
He's got a point there. He's got a point there.
But then you got fucking Novas from Jersey, so there's another one.
Fucking
Yeah.
dirty Jersey, yeah, man.
But
the armpit of America.
But it was funny because you could see it a little bit of like, you know, they're doing spots and all of a sudden like, oh shit, I have to be over here. So minus that, it was a really good match. Like, and the crowd was a little bit into it.
I just, you know what it was about this team of Chetty and Nova? I just did not like them together.
Yeah.
You know, every time you tell me that, you've given me your explanation, so I already know why you don't like them. But I don't know, man. I feel like him and Chetty would, if they would have stayed together, because obviously Nova was with Stevie Richards and he was gone. Meanie is like, you know, obsolete at this point, not even around. Him and Chetty were thrown together, and I feel like if they would have stayed together, they would have been a better team.
You heard what happened though. Eventually, I don't know if you noticed, but Chetty in storyline turns on Nova.
Yes, yes, of course.
Then I believe it or not, I went to go see a Raw in 2000, which was the one where Rock makes fun of Rikishi, Kurt Angle, and all of them.
Oh yeah,
in that promo where he makes fun of.
But dark match was Chris Chetty.
It was the dark match was Chris Chetty.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah,
Oh,
right.
yeah, it was.
I remember that.
I remember I was watching. I was like, oh my god, that's Chris Chetty from ECW. Then some guy was like, oh, you know this guy? I'm like, yeah, dude, you don't watch ECW? It's the shit. Love it. It's great.
Yeah.
telling
but like I said, like Chetty just was it one of those things where he didn't just his potential didn't meet his
well, let's be realistic. He was the only thing. The only thing to him was just the fact that he was Taz's cousin. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, like he's
And
Teddy
he had
Hart.
Ozzy's music to come out to.
He's like Teddy Hart that is now, like he dressed like he was.
Oh, that's a good point. He's not Teddy Hart though. Teddy Hart's a little.
Oh, Teddy Hart was way.
Teddy
better.
Hart's way.
Yeah, I'm just saying he just dressed like how Teddy
if
Hart.
Teddy Hart
is
was
now.
a fucking weirdo, I think he'd be.
He's a poor man's Teddy Hart now, but like you know what I'm saying. But like
Teddy Hart.
All right, so then of course Electra cuts the promo.
I thought that was good. I thought the Electro promo
She's
was
definitely from New York.
fucking great.
She's definitely from New York.
No, stop. Really?
But I mean, her promo was one of the best of the night. I mean, compared to Heyman, like
such praise. Jake gives the fucking the lady of the night.
Well, now was she
besides the wrestling, the biggest thing in that audience was definitely her tits.
and like you said, especially when she made him dance. But like,
oh yeah, that's right, she did do that. I forgot.
Okay, terrific.
But like you said, like and she's a woman in her 30s, so like now, like she's a woman in her 50s. I mean, Electra, if you're if you're busy,
if you're not busy,
I forgot to mention something. We forgot to mention how after Kid Cash got a beating, Jazz came out to console him.
Oh yeah,
do we care?
They were
no, I just forgot.
It didn't
Mrs.
do
Rodney,
anything.
Mrs. Rodney Mack.
Yeah,
it didn't do anything.
Nah, no thanks.
Poor Jazz. She could have been such a much bigger deal than what happened to her.
Anyway, not a fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Nah. Her and Jason had a good little program though.
Her and Jason had a great program.
That was a good program. I'll
The Sexiest Man Alive? Yeah.
Yeah, fucking Gypsy.
Is he? He's not a gypsy.
Him and fucking Justin Credible gypsies.
No, fucking Jason is fucking. He's Greek.
Sure?
He's Greek, dude.
Because
he's a Malacca, dude.
We knew his stepdaughter. She hung out in the bar we used to hang out in.
But no, Peter Polacco, he's definitely fucking.
We
Portuguese.
know he's fucking.
But Jason,
he wore a jockstrap on his face.
Yeah, I know.
He was the fucking superhero of Portugal.
He was a man of war.
Man of
Portuguese man of war. We call
Portuguese man of war.
Don't ever desecrate the name of the Portuguese man of war. Okay. Don't ever besmirch a good name.
Can you wear a jockstrap on your face for Halloween?
Of course I can.
Oh, awesome.
I can, but I won't do it.
I can do it.
Who wants to make $20 the hard way?
Ooh,
Hey now. Is this next match the match of the night?
Super Crazy against
Little Guido? Maybe not. Maybe.
I've seen this match too many times.
No. I disagree.
Jeez, on fire tonight, kids.
I disagree. You didn't see this match too many times. You know why you've seen it too many times? Because it was better other times. This match was the shits compared to what they used to do.
Wow.
This match was bad compared to what they
You know what's the
did.
issue? Here's the issue. It's too many goddamn high spots.
Exactly.
And then and that's my problem with Mexican wrestling. Not just wrestling, Mexican wrestling.
Yeah. Wow.
These line cooks need
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Roosh included, the Mr. Ring of Honor World Champion. Roosh included. These fucking line cooks, all they can think about is flippity flip flop pops. And it doesn't make sense in a match. What? Listen, I love Super Crazy to death.
Super Crazy is amazing.
I love him to death.
And Little Guido.
But Little Guido's fantastic. I've met him at fucking FTW. He was a nice guy. But guess what? Little Guido should be making pizzas.
This guy's a fucking move.
And Super Crazy should be it should be a sous chef, and that's it.
Okay, terrific.
But it was like one of those things where it's just like the match was good.
No.
The match was good.
No.
But they had 50 other better matches.
No.
Like it was just thrown together.
Can we just like disregard this?
Fucking Choppy. This, you know what? That's a racist. This is Choppy in court. This is Choppy fighting a parking ticket.
You do? Well, where are they? Look at all these niggas in here. Look around here. There's enough niggas in here to make a Tarzan movie.
What'd you get, Red Fox from?
Yeah, man.
Line cook, you called Super Crazy a line cook, dude.
Well, he was in Mexico at one point, so he was doing lawns at one point too.
Oh
so.
my god!
But like I said, like to me, like it was just a match. Was like
It's too many fucking matches they had. They always paired them together, man.
And the fact that like Little Guido, like he fucking gigs himself in the middle of the match, and it takes him forever, like 7 times that he's trying to like. All right,
Well,
I
Crazy
don't think I
doesn't
got it
finish. Hits a largely like unnecessary brain buster on the table.
Yeah.
For the pin. I mean, I mean, you want to take away the unnecessary furniture wreckage?
Like I said, it was just like we've seen so many better matches with them. Like this was not one to.
I still think that triple threat with Tajiri was probably the best fucking match I've ever seen with those guys.
Yeah.
Tajiri's
the Japanese bustle is the shit.
Tajiri does no wrong in my eyes. No.
Oh, without a doubt, and like I said, it was an absolute shame that he's on the roster and he's not in this match. Like, why not have a fucking triple threat?
Oh
match?
yeah, well, all right.
How about not have this match at all?
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So the next thing is Joey Styles sells the video game.
Yeah,
great game by the way.
No, it's not.
No,
it's fucking
not.
horrible.
Fuck your hand.
Yeah, that game was terrible.
No,
dude.
you're terrible.
Come on.
All right.
My first day back, and you guys already disagree with everything I say. You're a dick.
Actually, Jay's fucking disagreeing with everything.
I know him.
We said it before.
Jay's anti. Well, you said what before?
We said no matter what Choppy says, we're just gonna.
Yeah, that was the plan. We took a vote. We took a vote.
That's awesome.
All right. So I expect a little more out of this because I actually knew who Wing Kanemaru was at this point.
And that's what I said the same exact thing. Kanemaru is huge in Japan at this point. Like he's mid 90s. This guy is killing it.
I think he was their champion at one point too. For a while.
And he was part of the. Oh, what was it? It was Wing. Wing was they were a faction.
Wing FMW.
Yeah. But he was like
Kintaro.
Yeah.
Kintaro Wing Kintaro Kanemaru.
And he had matches with Mick Foley. He had matches with
Tushi Onita, Terry Funk, Mr. Pogo, Panda. Yeah, I know.
Kanemaru was a big fucking deal.
Big deal in Japan, of course.
So like that's a huge get for Paul Heyman to bring him over. And then he basically just job him out to Balls Mahoney.
And Balls no sells the chair shot.
Which is weird. And
Balls always sells the
Yeah.
And the Baldy's attack, and here comes fucking.
I mean, it was just to bring on what was happening after, but like it was a 4-minute match, 5-minute match.
So here's his credentials. He was the Wing Caribbean Heavyweight Champion, Wing Pacific Northwest Heavyweight Champion, Wing World Tag Team Champion. He, believe it or not, he was also the DDT Ironman Heavyweight Champion and KOD Openweight Champion. And he won a lot of fucking titles in FMW.
Yeah, he did.
He was a beast. I'm not even gonna name them all, but
And that's what I'm saying. Like I know who Kanemaru is, and it was around 2002, 3. So it was. I didn't see this pay-per-view live, but I knew who he was. A few years later.
I remember putting up some stuff on YouTube with him. And I was just like, my mouth just dropped open.
Yeah, you want to talk about seeing this fucking match so many times? How many fucking times we gonna see fucking New Jack and Vic Grimes?
My God! The only thing that was different, obviously, was the end part.
The only thing that was different about this is the fact that he wasn't fighting all 3 fucking Baldy. It was just one Baldy this time. I mean, come on, man. Vic Grimes, he's awful.
And he was like, he's supposed to be the new proprietor of Hardcore or whatever.
Fuck him.
But meanwhile, he can't jump off the scaffold. That's
because he's 700 pounds.
Fuck Vic Grimes.
That he's what? 15 feet, 20 feet up, and like
he was one of those bitter Bettys too when he stopped wrestling.
Yeah, he was.
He was a fucking bag of douche. That guy.
Well, New Jack's also another one.
New Jack's just fucking and like he says it about when they wrestled in XPW.
He was like, kill him.
I wanted to kill this. He goes, I looked at that ring post and I go, oh, I'm gonna impale him on that ring.
No, yeah, he said he wanted to kill the motherfucker.
But like I said, because you could see it on the scaffolding a little bit. You could see a little trepidation in Vic Grimes where he just goes, but it's like, why put yourself in this scenario? There's no way that you just go before this like, oh, I'm going to line up to do this. And then like, now I don't want to do it.
And if I'm not mistaken, this is the match where New Jack went blind.
Yeah.
One eye.
Yeah.
Dude, you could see it on that bump.
Because at the last minute, Vic Grimes was like, oh, I don't want to do this, New Jack.
New Jack is coming down first, and he's trailing this 300 pounds of fucking goo behind him.
Right in the head.
Yo, Otto's saying they're doing a New Jack episode on Vice.
I hope so. Oh my God!
With the mass transit incident?
Oh, I hope that's true.
I can't wait.
Jack, somebody please get me footage of that. Me and Choppy have been begging to do that fucking episode.
What, mass transit?
Yeah, there's no footage of it.
There's some.
I think it was a house show.
Where did I see it? No, I
definitely didn't see it.
There's no way. It's impossible.
No, I've seen it.
Where?
Jay, were you live there?
No.
If you find it, bring it.
We've been trying to get that for 5 years, bro.
Where did I see it? Oh, I definitely, dude. I'm
The
telling
mass
you,
transit,
it's-
isn't it?
Yeah,
With him getting stabbed by New Jack in the head.
No,
like
not
16.
stabbed. You see just
I
blood squirting out.
need that footage.
If you find that footage, I want to see it.
Oh, it's
That's gonna be a throwback
graphic.
for sure.
Oof.
Oh, I don't even know if I can see it.
There is footage, Otto saying, but I can't find it.
Yeah, it's out there, dude. I'm telling you.
If Jay over here or Otto can find it, please.
Wait, Otto's saying, hold on. Like it's that we couldn't find it when we first started looking for it a couple of years
No.
ago.
If Otto has it,
I've seen it.
This had to resurface not too long ago because we tried finding it when he first came on the show and we couldn't find it. We even emailed Rob Feinstein, like we couldn't get anything of that shit.
But and that was what's scary about that. You know, the whole thing is like you could see. You know, you can see New Jack trailing down, and you know what's going to happen. This fat ass is just going to come in and hit him. And, dude, like I said, it knocks him on the ground. Like, you could see, he just literally, you know, Vic Grimes is doing a somersault, lands on top of New Jack, and just fucking right on top of the those tables give away. Like, there was no give. It was just boom, right to the
Otto
right
just
to the
texted
concrete.
me. Otto just texted me. Hold on.
I'm telling you, dude.
There's no way.
I've seen it.
There's no
bad.
way.
He got it. It's 5 minutes and 51 seconds.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah, he's got it.
It took us forever to find
Oh,
this.
it was 3 months ago.
That's why.
No.
That's why. I didn't see it. Phil, how many times have you tried to look for this?
I emailed people. Like I put my feelers out there.
Send
like,
that to me.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
But dude, and that's gruesome, dude. That I mean, and
Stabbed the fuck out of the kid, and the kid was like 17, I think it was.
but it's the idea of like you going into this whole thing of like you want to be part of the crew, whatever. Like, but dude, like you guys know as soon as you get in a ring with them, they know like, oh, you ain't who you said to be. I don't fucking trust you. I'm gonna fucking stab you in the head.
You want to know what? You know what? I hope they do it one day with the Vice series. Is I hope they do Arn Anderson Sid.
Oh, I'd love to know that. Yeah. Well, it's funny. Arn's been a little glib about that. Like he hasn't really said too much about it
because there was supposed to be criminal charges put on him at one point.
Yeah.
Because he's the one who stabbed Sid first.
I got Otto. Thank you. I just sent it to Choppy.
Yeah, huge man.
Thanks, buddy.
Huge.
I want to do a podcast on that match, on that fucking incident.
Dude, you know what is funny? Like I hate to say, like I kind of
This is what we'll do. We're gonna see an episode of Vice, and then we'll watch the footage, and then we'll talk
about it. Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Yeah, I back New Jack on that one.
All right, let's get back to the card.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's getting
well,
late.
I back New Jack on this one too as well. Like I don't blame him from trying to kill fucking Vic Grimes. Like, dude,
fucking Jay, man. Jay's on fire today.
What, dude? Like, why are you?
Dude,
gonna get
who pissed in your Cheerios?
COVID did.
COVID.
I also had a few Bud Lights before I came in here.
Oh,
So.
that's
Yeah, but
right.
that shouldn't alter your fucking anger.
Oh, but you want to know something? Garifo gets like that sometimes too. You know.
Yeah, I guess every crew needs one.
The jolly old drunk.
The jolly old drunk. J.O.D.
J.O.D. Oh man!
All right, the next match is for the ECW Tag Team Championship.
Good match.
Mike
Love
Awesome
this
and
match.
Raven versus Tommy Dreamer, Masato Tanaka versus the Impact Players.
And this is what I was saying about like the whole booking thing of ECW. Like it's a little bit lost.
Here we go.
You know, whereas
Ladies and gentlemen, Jay's on fire tonight.
Jay grew a sack today. I don't know.
What happened to his fucking. I don't know. Go ahead.
it's a little bit lost because I remember when this happened.
Hashtag liquid courage.
Can you have a conversation with him after this?
We're gonna have a call, he's driving me home. We're gonna have a conversation.
Yeah. But you can see it a little bit, and I love the fact that Awesome and Raven lost early because it automatically now you have to have a new champion, but. God damn it! You owe a little bit more to Raven, to that Raven character,
I'm not gonna
to
lie.
lose like that.
I like heel Jay a little bit.
I like it too. I kind of like it.
Because you know why you like? Because he's Team Choppy.
I'm Team Choppy all day.
All day.
I mean,
all day. Yeah. Here's my takeaways from this match. It was for a rush job. It was under 10 minutes.
That's what it was.
I know it was very fast.
And you know what I also like too, like Tommy Dreamer is like out of the match for 2 minutes. He comes out of nowhere, and he's
But that's Tommy's
and
MO, though.
and he's bladed.
That's Tom. Yeah, no, that's Tommy's MO.
It's
Listen,
like, what the fuck happened to you, Tommy?
Tommy Dreamer is who's that ghetto magician, Magic Man, the big sloppy looking hobo looking guy. He does like all the R&B TV shows and shit. He's a black Magic Man or something.
Is he from the Soul Circus?
He might be. He looks like fucking. Tommy Dreamer is the white Magic Man.
Wow.
He disappears. He comes back with a whole new gimmick. You get the fucking bleed.
Like I said, I looked. I was like, what did Tommy do? Did he sneeze and hit his head on the post? Like, why is he coming back and he's bleeding all over?
How come
the
we're not
place?
talking about Masato Tanaka's fucking Diamond Dust move?
Oh, dude, I love that move.
How dope is that move?
The flipping stunner? Oh,
I want to do a flipping stunner daily to someone.
But how
I love
about
that
how about the
fucking
fact that he beat Mike Awesome, the heavyweight champion, mind you, with a roaring elbow?
He put him and Mike Awesome had
Exactly, and that's what I do like about, like, that's why I wasn't mad about that they lost. I was like, oh, it was a quote unquote fluke thing, but that's why I wasn't mad about that. I was like, but just Raven deserves a little bit more than that, in my opinion.
Well, Raven, he's not my biggest stuff. I'm not a big fan of him at all, but he controlled a lot of his matches in tag team matches. And
Yeah.
He read the ring very well. He's a definite throwback to tag team wrestling.
Yes.
He read guys, he cut the ring off all the time. He worked on body parts. He was very meticulous, and he told a good story in the ring. I just wasn't a big fan of him. Personally.
I was.
A lot, but you weren't the only one. And I appreciated him more when he left, only because of the shit show that was WCW.
Yes.
And he would come in and cut these promos, and I said, they got to do something with him. They got to do something with him. And then they brought Steve Richards in. Then he became U.S. champion. Then they had the Flock, and I was like, all right, this is good. This is the way it should be. Raven doesn't get enough credit, I don't think, for his. He's like a modern day Jake Roberts.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
100%.
the way he walks to the ring, the
ring
way
psychology, promos, like
Even
those
getting up from the corner.
My first memories of ECW television in winter of 94 was him sitting in the classroom, in the empty classroom.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, that's Scotty Flamingo.
Yeah.
You know?
Johnny Polo.
Yeah, well, Scotty, the same thing. I was like, wow, this is the Raven guy they were talking about, you know? And then he would sit in the schoolyard in the middle of the winter and sit it was just eerie, you know?
And that's what I say. Like he just, the character deserved a little bit more than that, but I love the story that they said with Tanaka and Mike Awesome, because that's what it's all about. Was right there.
Yeah.
Boom, hit him with the move. 1, 2, 3, get out. Now we have new champions.
But yeah,
no matter what.
But who carries the match at the end?
Oh, it's the Impact players.
Right. So
hands down.
Tanaka gets one of Phil's favorite moves of all time with Diamond Dust on Justin. Impact players come back with a spike pile driver, very that old school on Dream.
Yes. Old school.
That was my favorite. That was actually
that was their finishing move, if I'm not mistaken.
They put him away 51. But it was the match itself was rushed, messy with the hot finish.
Yes.
They finished well.
Yeah, of course.
If they didn't finish well, this match would have been absolutely dog shit.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm telling you, Chop, if you think about it, if they botched this finish, it would have been a fucking terrible fucking waste of time.
I could see that. I can see what you're talking about.
Yeah, because I mean, they almost say, I don't want to say saved the match. Maybe it's a bad choice of words, because you had some good players in there. You had Raven, you had Dreamer, you had Masato Tanaka, you had Mike Awesome. But I feel like the Impact players finished and saved the match.
Well, let's not forget.
Well, and that's what I was going to say, is like they are a very underrated team. Like
I was hoping to see those two together in WWF, because they were.
I was going to say
the first time. That's not the first time you've said that.
And I was hoping, but they never did it.
Because the idea was like Lance Storm. Obviously, we always say it is like he's not the best on the mic, but his ring work was amazing.
Otto's got 3 more videos he just sent me.
Oh, there you go. And Just Incredible was amazing on the mic.
He's a dick.
Like Dawn Marie and Jason Sensation didn't need to be there.
They were just ornaments.
That's all they were.
Ornaments.
That's a great way to put it. That's a great way to put it, because they didn't need to be there.
They were just a dice hanging from the
from the car. But
I'm over here now.
But these guys, like I said, like that team was very underrated. And that's what I wanted to say before when we were talking about the tag team thing that the Wizards are doing. The Impact players are very underrated. Like, I mean, granted, they didn't have a long-standing
because they were big fish in a small pond. They were big fish in a small pond, and
valid point. Yeah,
and both guys. Honestly, let's be honest here. Just Incredible had a better solo run. They put Lance. Lance Storm didn't do bad in WCW as a solo guy.
He did great.
He was U.S. champion for a while, but
he was Canadian champion.
Yeah,
Thank you, Phil.
He was cruiserweight
champ and U.S. champ.
He was Canadian champion.
And hardcore champ too.
I think so. Yeah,
he was the Canada champ.
Canadian champ.
He was the kilos champion, if I'm not mistaken.
I think Justin. I think Just Incredible had a better run. I feel on a solo tip because he had more meaningful matches.
Yeah, but like I said, the two of them together, I thought that they just gelled very well together, and
their music was the best too. That White Zombie song, the chicken choker fucker.
Yes. And it's funny because that's something that gets lost on the network is the
music. Of course,
the music ruins.
Of course,
especially like during the New Jack match, like it's something that gets a little bit lost.
Oh yeah.
But
fuck you because I can.
But like I said, this match was good, and and then going into the main event, like,
can you believe this was the main event?
Oh, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's where I just go.
Was Rhino even ready for the main event at this point?
Listen, there was a lot of injuries too at the time. A lot of guys were hurt too.
Was he ready for the main event? Probably not. But
they were grooming Rhino.
Did he fit?
They were
there?
definitely grooming
he
Rhino.
Fit. I think he fit. I would say he did. He did very.
I think once Rhino started feuding with Sandman, that's when he started becoming a major player.
Yeah. But this was the stuff that he at this point he already pile drove Sonny into the table off the ring apron, which was nobody's ever done before.
And then earlier tonight he gores fucking Sandman's wife right there.
Lori.
That shit was nice.
Yeah.
And I love the acting job by Sandman's son. I was like, oh, give me my mom back. And he wasn't even trying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Van Dam comes out in a Bobby Duncan football jersey. He had just passed away.
Yeah.
How dope was that? And I'm watching. And I'm like, that's Bobby Duncan.
I'm looking at Duncan and I see 44 and I'm like, man, why
just
does that
passed
sound
away?
familiar?
He just passed away. Yeah. That was pretty.
He was
dope.
so young too. My God,
a lot. But that's the fucking norm, dude.
But I didn't know he had issues though. Who would have thought that Bobby Duncan?
But he died of a drug overdose, or
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
He had a lot of issues. I didn't know he had problems.
Yeah.
Or demons.
His father was huge, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Southwest. I think he wrestled for Joe Blanchard and all those guys too.
But he was part of that West Texas.
Yeah, he was in the West Texas team with
the football team. Ted DiBiase, Stan Hansen,
Tully Blanchard.
Yeah,
Tito Santana played for them. All right, so this match
it was all right.
Yeah, it was all right.
It was all right.
It was playing towards the big build of the Sandman coming in at the end and saving the day or whatever. Like that's what it was built for. I mean, super crazy getting the belt. Not against that. He was a character that
But main event though.
Of course not. No. Of course not.
You could have flip flopped. You could have made the tag team title the main event.
I think you should have.
I think you should have.
That should have been the main event.
Because of star power. Whatever, but like I see what they were doing.
Super Crazy and Rhino were not ready for that.
No,
that spot yet.
But it did put Rhino on the map before he did his program with Sandman.
Yeah,
this was the start of Rhino, and he won. He was TV champ. He was heavyweight champion. He was their last heavyweight champion, right?
Both TV and heavyweight champion. Yeah,
and you got to think that's why Heyman was doing it. Was like, we got to get this guy over. Like this guy's a man beast and whatever and all this stuff. So he probably
before I lose him to Vince,
which eventually
everybody does, yeah.
And but I'm sure that was his thought. And like you said, like but it was good in that sense. Super Crazy, in my opinion, doesn't need a mid-card belt. Like he was a novelty guy. He was over.
You mentioned before that that Tajiri should have had a match. I agree. Was Mikey Whipwreck hurt? Because I wouldn't have minded.
Mikey Whipwreck, I think, wasn't even signed yet, or was it?
He was still in the company.
He was still in WCW.
Right. So, I mean, you could have, but Heyman had a lot of injuries too, so There was
and that's the other thing. Like Sabu was in talks with WCW. This
Sabu
time.
was already
Sabu's gone.
RVD was injured. Tajiri, I think, was injured.
he might have been, but you
No,
could
Tajiri came out the end.
you could have had Tajiri versus Mike.
Yeah, but why didn't he? I think he was injured though. That's probably why he didn't have a full match.
I think he just played into the he might have been, but like him and Whipwreck become a tag team later on in the year.
With Sinister Minister.
Oh yeah,
awesome. They're
Which
great
is
together.
Great.
Tajiri was like always scared of the whole aspect of being a team with Mikey Whipwreck and Sinister Minister. It was good stuff.
Mikey started coming out with the different color hair and the pants.
Yeah,
the dragon pants,
the big pants. Yeah,
big
I
pants.
you know what I tell you right now, I did love when Tajiri won the ECW television title from Rhino.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that was such a great moment.
And one of my favorite matches of all time, ECW, was Tajiri versus Taz.
Yeah, that was good.
Yes,
when he choked him with the
yes.
fucking
that was
wire.
good.
It was a good match.
Yo, it's funny. Taz just put that up on social media. He just put.
Oh, did he?
He just put it up where he was just like, I don't know if it was that same match, but he goes, nothing but reactions. Like, and he just played like little things from the match where a clothesline, the head and arm suplex, the head and leg suplex, whatever it was.
Head and arm, sir.
Yeah, well,
Head and arm,
same thing. But
just saying, you could say it right.
Shut the fuck up.
Shane Douglas, Brooklyn versus Pittsburgh. I'm calling you out, brother.
How about your world title versus the FTW, the fuck the world?
I'm calling you out, brother.
Yeah, but and like I said, and that's another. And Taz is gone for a handful of months, 3 months at this point. Like
Well, he was just 2000. He was in the Royal
so
Rumble.
like ECW, you
took a hit.
You could see a little bit of
Taz was gone. Dudley's were gone.
You could see a little bit of
calling
this.
you out, brother.
You could see a little bit of that. They're trying to
They
figure
brought
out
Taz
what's
back to
going
beat
on.
Mike Awesome, though.
Yeah, later on in the year.
But then there was also this. That I'm sure Paul was really hurting because of Rob Van Dam getting injured, and I'll tell you why. Because I said this before in the past, and I'm going to keep saying they were planning on an ECW television title match. Again, it was ECW television champion versus the World Heavyweight title.
Unification and
Not even unification, just to have those two go at it.
Yeah.
And I think Rob was supposed to win the World Heavyweight title and still stay as TV champ.
Yeah. And
That
like
would have
you
been a
said,
moneymaker.
But there's, but at this point, you could see a little bit of the inconsistencies. I don't know if that's the right word.
No, you're right.
Yeah, like you could see a little bit of just nothing's making sense. We're doing things to It's fire. It's up.
Let's
up,
see how
down, up, down.
It's like throwing spaghetti against the wall and see if it sticks. And
Yeah,
I cooked.
I think so. Like
Yeah.
but it's funny because if you would have told me 20 years ago, no, ECW is the greatest fucking thing that's going.
Listen, we drank the Kool-Aid and we
Yeah.
kept drinking the Kool-Aid because it was so
Paul
good
was
for
smart man.
long. I mean, you have to understand something. From 94 to 99, you got for 5 years, you had some amazing moments in ECW.
Yeah.
They went from a fucking bingo hall that had 500 people to national television exposure, pay-per-views, action figures, magazines, international tours. Like, there was a brand. It was a third brand.
It was
they made it and it was like it was always ECW was always the stepchild to WCW and WWF, obviously, but at the time. But it was a brand. Paulie got it to where he wanted it.
I think it was a movement. Like you said,
cult. It was a fucking cult following.
And like I said, I mean, we're a little bit different in generations. A little bit of an age gap. Like I came in as a young kid. Like I couldn't, but I'd seen it on MSG Network and like, wow, this is awesome. Like,
Waiting up till fucking 2 o'clock. In the morning.
This was and setting the VCR to 1 o'clock a.m. for to see it and then watching it on Sunday
like
morning.
Old heads. I remember like my mom's husband at the time. My mom's her third husband. He loved fucking ECW, and I come home from like I used to bounce. I come home from work, and he'd say, "Did you watch it yet?" I'm like, "No, I just came home from work." He's like, "I got a tape."
Yeah,
I got a tape too, Pop. Thanks. And we would like, see what happened. I'm like, yeah, I saw what happened. We actually ordered Barely Legal.
Yeah,
and
like I said, to me, it was the movement. It was what and I think Heyman said it as well. Like it's what changed music, like how grunge changed hair metal.
Oh no, 100%.
And that's what it was. Like and obviously WWF they have to earn their attitude era. ECW was
ECW brought all the shit from Japan here, and then
exactly
Eric Bischoff fucking bit off of it, and so did Vince.
But now at March 2000, ECW is now just grasping
They're
at
hanging on,
straws.
right?
They're
Listen,
trying to find
right,
stuff
because they needed product for their TV, and
Yeah.
it was weird because once they got the TV the deal, they lost guys.
Yeah, which is hilarious to think about. Like,
Yeah.
if you really think about it.
They didn't plan on losing people before that, right? I mean, it's you can go back and it's a sad ending. Guys didn't get paid.
It really is. Yeah.
But and then Paul winds up going to work for them, and then like to the E, and then like people get this. People are like, how the fuck does he do that? We're all not getting paid. He goes WWE. Like he owed a debt. Vince was funding him for a while, allegedly. We didn't know that until the documentaries came out. But like, there was this underlined affection for ECW. Like, Vince knew.
I got a really funny question with that. Like, and it's, do you think that makes Paul Heyman a bad guy, or does it make him not an evil genius? I don't know if that's the right word, but does it make it does it skew his outlook on wrestling?
I'll say what Devon Dudley said. He said that Paul Heyman was a genius, but just a terrible business guy.
Yeah,
that's a first.
I think he is great for the business of pro wrestling, but he cannot handle the business of pro wrestling.
Guy's got 40 years in, man. He's been
and
since he's 17 years
he's
old.
So good. He knows how to take Choppy as a character, and he knows how to. Well, Choppy could do this. He can't do this. We're not going to do this.
Expose the positives, hide the negatives.
Yeah, but like he and that's the idea of it. Like with him, like, but as a person, does it tarnish his name doing that?
If it
doing that stuff,
but Jay, I'm going to do the Guinea thing and answer your question with a question. If it did tarnish his name, would he still have? You think he still have a job? The guy produces the biggest wrestling show on cable television. So now he's an executive producer and he's an on-screen talent. So now my question to you is, and I'm going to answer your question with a question, typical Italian thing. Would it, if it did tarnish his name that bad, why would he still have a job?
Because
they're not desperate. They're not desperate. I mean,
they're not desperate.
They're not desperate.
They're not desperate. But Vince McMahon, and much what we were saying before, Vince does have his hand on the pulse. He has people that are underneath. Let's put it that way.
But if his name was that diminished, he wouldn't be fucking producing the biggest, longest running fucking cable television show in the world.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I
he
agree.
wouldn't have the book on SmackDown. He wouldn't book SmackDown a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Like this is the thing, man. He's an evil genius. He sees things. He reminds me of like in hockey, they have Otto's a huge hockey guy. He's a lifelong player, coach. And I'm gonna make a hockey reference, and I'm glad Otto's in the room. There's a term when they say guys could see the ice, better than other guys like Gretzky, Crosby, Ovechkin, Messier, whatever, Pavel Bure, right? Those guys see the ice better than everybody else. They anticipate moves and they anticipate their goal, how they're going to score and where they're going to be. That's Paulie, man.
Yeah.
Paulie sees things in guys and girls that they don't see in themselves, that he pushes them to. Like, he made stars, man.
Yeah, he did.
He made stars.
And perfect example is Brock Lesnar in 2002.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks. I mean, there's a bunch of guys.
And he made Edge.
A bunch of guys.
He's the guy that if
CM Punk.
I forget where I heard it. I think it was
Ken Anderson.
Yeah, Ken Anderson was another one. And the quote unquote Paul Heyman guys.
Yeah.
I forget where I heard it. It was on some podcast, but it was like saying about how Paul Heyman, if he's your biggest backer, it's the best thing you can have.
Right. They see it differently before the plays happen.
And the worst thing that can happen is Paul Heyman can back you, because it's just nothing but constant thing. So it's going to be that. But like Paul Heyman is the guy, he's the general that is going to lead the army to go, this is what we're going to do. I want you to run your head into this wall.
Yeah.
And if you run your head into this wall, it's for the greater good. And he was that guy. And it's very well known that he had those speeches backstage. It's us against the world. And very much so. Like, and that's 100% right. Between 96 and 99, 2000, maybe he was starting to teeter off a little bit. The opinions can vary, but at this point, like, to me, I agree. I don't think it tarnishes his name. I don't think it makes him a bad guy. I think he had to do what he had to do to make that brand last as long as it did. Should it have died a year earlier? Of course, it should have. But he was going through everything. And if you listen to Paul Heyman, he's the first one to say it. He goes, I did everything in my fiber to keep this going, because he knew that there was a cult following. He was holding on to that cult following, but he didn't see the grand picture of it, which Vince seen. And, I think to an extent you could say Bischoff might have seen, but definitely Vince. He doesn't look grand picture. He was looking for a niche, whereas Vince is looking for the macro. So I don't think it tarnishes his name, but I think a little bit, like, now he's
you have your right to your opinion. I'm just saying, if it did, if it tarnished, my point was, if it tarnished his name that much,
he wouldn't be exactly.
He'd be still running his little fucking advertising.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean that
and that's what I was saying about, to me, like, the unpopular opinion is just like, ECW in a vacuum was awesome.
Yes.
Looking at it now,
not so much.
No, I wouldn't say not so much.
This era.
Yeah, 2000 on, you're just grasping at straws.
Of course.
You look at stuff from 97, 98. We've
everything is like concise.
Consistent.
Right.
This one was just to
spaghetti.
me.
It was spaghetti.
To me, it was like
spaghetti on the wall.
Giving it a grade. It was a C.
I'll go B minus.
Yeah, I was gonna go with C
because there was a couple of good matches on there.
I want to say
great
C+.
matches.
C plus.
Yeah,
okay.
I was gonna say there was some good matches on it. To me, it was just I just wanted, when I pictured ECW, what I seen here, two different things.
Yeah, you when you look at it, how do you say it with rose-colored eyes?
You always see everything with rose-colored glasses.
I think you're seeing things with beer goggles right now.
Yeah. I can't. I mean, even guys who Paul didn't pay, they're mad at him, but they still praise him for doing his thing. You know what I'm saying?
And that shows you how he was. That shows you what guys are still appreciating. Like, yo, this guy fucked me out of X amount of dollars, but he gave me a chance. So like how much, do you put a monetary value on the spotlight? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a hard thing to say.
I mean, if you had your pick of bookers, he's right there on top.
I would say so. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm comparing him to the Grahams. I'm comparing him to Dusty. I'm comparing him
Mount
to
Rushmore bookers.
Yep. Gagne, fucking Bill Watts. You know what I'm saying? You want to go that route.
Gary Hart.
Gary Hart he booked for a little while. He
booked for WC.
Yeah, but not as
okay.
Not as
He
not
booked
as long.
in world class a lot better than he did in WCW, obviously.
No, world class. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Kabuki. Are you an assassin?
Are you a soldier?
Are you a soldier?
You know Dean Ambrose quotes that in the FCW documentary?
Does he? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he does.
I mean, that would be something to do with top 10.
And when he was doing his promos in the ring, doing the promo practice,
like Kabuki.
That we could do. We could do top 10 bookers. That would be something to do.
Yeah,
so.
man. You just look at the body of work. That's all.
But
that's it.
To me, it was a good show. I mean, a little much to be desired.
Sullivan's
number one.
Yeah, Sullivan was great.
Over Paulie?
No, I'm not saying Paulie. I'm not going by order. I'm just going.
Paulie had the most success in the less amount of time.
Heyman.
I agree.
I'm not saying I'm not going by numbers. I'm just going by Mount Rushmore right now. I would say Heyman, Sullivan, Patterson, because he booked a lot of stuff for Vince.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say
Mike Graham, Bill Watts, fucking Dusty.
I'm going to say Dusty for sure.
Dusty invented the fucking all the gimmicks.
Yeah.
Invented all the names of the pay-per-views.
Yeah.
You know, he's a fucking genius,
And
dude.
he tall Paul Heyman too.
No Jim Hurt passes though. We get some Pizza Hut afterwards. It's funny. I love Pastel.
Oh, that's
One of
awesome.
my favorite people of all time. Are you ready to get out of here?
Yeah, I'm tired.
Oh yeah, about to say. We gone long.
We did long tonight. All right, guys, you know the drill. Social media gimmicks, patreon.com/Turnbuckle Throwbacks, ProWrestlingTees.com/Turnbuckle Throwbacks. Buy a shirt from us. Buy a shirt from all the people who aren't being me.
Yeah, I need to pay my rent, so buy a shirt.
Yeah, really. Choppy's got to pay some rent, so can we
Yeah.
buy some shirts? Buy a Mook Tang shirt.
Wu Tang.
Yeah, Instagram, fucking Facebook, Twitter, all the gimmicks. Please don't forget to support everybody.
Yeah.
On the Shining Wizards Network and Dark Satellite Media and Rant EM Radio.
Yeah. And support your your local pro wrestlers as well.
Yeah, man. There's no shows going on right now. If they're selling T-shirts, fucking do it, man.
Yeah.
Just buy some shirts, buy a gimmick from them. Put a little money in their pocket. They don't make any money, man. Seriously, they don't. So I think that's it, right?
I think that's it.
Guys, please be safe out there. Be careful. Fucking wash your hands. Wash your ass.
Yeah, hashtag wash your ass.
Hashtag wash your ass. All right.
Freaks.
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Wrestling is and everything, and like to me I was just like how you can do it for certain things, how like Ricky Steamboat never was a heel. You could say the same thing about Tommy Dreamer.
Look back, ladies and gentlemen, at the history between Sting and Ric Flair. Of course, time doesn't permit to show all those altercations, but in just about 2 weeks, on Saturday night, July the 7th, at the Great American Bash, we are anxiously waiting the return of this man in the ring to face Ric Flair for the championship of the world.
Altercations, you're talking about altercations, everyone's talking about stipulations and what we can do finally to get an outcome, clear-cut outcome, a winner one way or the other, with no interference from the outside, no horsemen jumping in the ring, nobody jumping in the ring, and I don't know what stipulations we're going to be able to get yet, but I just...
Eliminators were...
And not
Sally Graziano
standards or whatever. He's the
one who stabbed Sid first.
To me,
he was spaghetti. but. Copy and paste it to my page the other day. She was like, oh, the fucking the Wuhan flu. I'm like, no, it's called the coast potential. Fucking,
versus undefeated
guys like
this.
Yeah. Okay.
But the open that doesn't much. We